In your face. Sick man. Highlights. Tokyo. Baby. Dallas. Mike. Oh, do magic. There I go. I was doing, who is this? In this case, we Marauder for ears. It was a tripod question. Good morning, everybody. I have no idea if this is going to work. I'm doing something new today. I have no idea. Try something new. Some new things happened yesterday, so we got to try something new. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear the music as I try to figure out how to make this work so I can have guests live guests. I think I figured it out. I might be wrong. I might be able to bring people in to this. But let me know if things sound right. If you can hear me and you hear the music and things look right. I'm looking kind of pale. That's all right. That's all right. We don't have anything natural anymore. We've just burned nature up, destroyed it. Did y'all check out yesterday? Wait. Before I start running my mouth, let me bring YouTube and get everything going first, because this is going to be weird. Sounds good? Thank you, Robert. Appreciate that, brother. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Rebecca. I don't have on a headset. I'm trying new software. New software. I got a delay. That's weird. That's all right. It's Hollywood. I'm talking about the Holly tree today. Question. Couple questions. The Druids, do they love the Holly tree as much as the 0.01% loves Hollywood? That's my first question. And my next question is, what are some of the longest running studies in human history? To me, I have a personal belief. I believe that the longest running studies came about what's true. And that's all we cared about. Until the Holly tree and Druids, and then the Hollywood and the 1%. Did y'all see the CDC's last release? Holistic is true. Allopathic is untrue, which is why we got all the problems that we do. That rhyme. Oh my goodness. I was doing Tribe Called Quest this morning. I decided not to sing for y'all this morning. I figured I'd cut you a break. I'm just going to change the title. Longest running studies. Ooh, did y'all see the CDC's last false information report? Well, I tell you what, they're just tripping themselves up. They don't need nobody else to trip them up. People like 6%, 6%. And I'm like, yeah, 6%. So they say that outside of comorbidities, that only 9,210, I'm going to commit that to memory, 9,210 people died of cuckoo virus, which is why we called it cuckoo from the very beginning. And while that is a means to party, that is a means to be excited, that is a means to come out of the house and ask other adults if they can come out and play, because everybody knows for kickball, you need at least 6 or 7 people. You can't play kickball with the people who ain't scared of the cuckoo virus. I need y'all to go knock on your neighbors' doors, go knock on your family and friends' doors who are scared to come out and play. Now, maybe you got to go to the state capitol and ask the government, can the other adults come out and play? We're going to play house. We're going to play kickball. Can you let them come out and let them keep the mask at home? Let them come out because they're going to need oxygen when we play kickball. So yeah, they released that quietly. So all day yesterday, I let all my friends know. And all day long, butts was everywhere. Butts was everywhere. That's all they did. But. No, I just said 6%. Comorbidity, 6%. 9,210. Just focus on that. But said, but Q said it. Say, what does that mean? Donald Trump said it. What does that mean? Does that mean it ain't true? Does that mean it's not true? It's on the CDC website. All you got to do is go click on it. And out of that, let me ask you a question. Has anybody isolated this sucker yet? Mm-hmm. You always ask the important questions. I think once they finally isolate it and they tell you the truth, it might be like 2. 2 people. Gustavo done killed more. Gustavo, y'all know who Gustavo is? I'll bring a picture up. Gustavo, he was the let me bring you two, man. Gustavo was the crocodile and I forgot the name of the country, Gambia, something like that. He killed 300 people. 300 people. So now all he has to do is kill, and my math is rough, 890 something more, 8,900 some more people, and he'll catch up to cuckoo virus. Yeah, he disappeared. I don't know if y'all know that. He disappeared. They can't find Gustavo. I know where he went. I know where Gustavo went. They said, we haven't seen the crocodile in years. He's like, they say he's between 18 and 25 feet long. I know where he went. He went where everything goes. The 0.01%. Somebody found a way to get that joker and put it in the cage, and they did that. Did I post that? I didn't post that. And he's in somebody's backyard, some big old mansion. They got him out the wild. And they didn't want to tell y'all because he's famous. They didn't want him at the zoo. So the 0.01% who always seems to win, they got him somewhere behind somebody's mansion. That's where Gustavo went. Same place the cuckoo virus is going to go if we don't get serious. Same place. They're going to hide this, and we're going to move to the next stage alien invasion because that's next. That is next. All right, let me see. I think YouTube should be fixed. That is good to go. Got the comments. All right, this is weird. This is weird. Y'all gonna have to bear with me today. I think this is gonna work. I think it's gonna work. So I should be able to bring people in and show videos both at the same time. That's what I'm trying to do. So if somebody wants to come on and say, you're wrong, you can come say it. I should be able to send you a link. All right. Now, let's first make sure YouTube is stable, and then we'll get to going. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, Gustavo, that's his name, Lori. They did a documentary on it. Big old crocodile, just eating people like nothing, like the 0.01%. And the predator always gets away. He's living it good. He's probably on Epstein Island. The Democrats and Republicans probably took him to Epstein Island. All right, there we go. I think we're ready to go. So the other feature, if this works, is I should be able to put your comment on the screen from YouTube or from Facebook. We shall see how this goes. All right, good morning. Gustavo. Yeah, Lori, Gustavo. Let me change them. Can you hear the music? This is weird. This is weird. I don't like to get used to new things, but we got to get used to this stuff. I'm trying to increase our functionality here. Good morning, everybody. Until it's isolated, only existent. People's minds are on TV. This is why Christ Henderson still belongs in Facebook jail. She's using science. No, she's using science, not science. TV science, politician science. Boy, I tell you what, I sent it to my family yesterday. Let them know. They said, oh, but Q said it and Trump said it, so it can't be true. I'm like, man, will y'all grow up? So please, I'm not playing in your political fantasy. I got to live in the real world. I have to make real decisions in the real world. I can't make fake decisions in your fake political fantasy world. I'm not playing that game. You know, I was listening to Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff is trying to tell you where you're supposed to put your money, honey. All right, let's see if I can do this. So I should be able to put it right here. Music is kind of kettle-like. What does that mean, Christine? I'm not from Belgium. There you go. I put it right on the screen. Look at that. Ooh, functionality. This is like a interview thingy. So we can just go like this, click on stuff, and I can talk to it. There you go. Who is this? Tracy, good morning. Happy full corn moon dance day. Ooh, because I'm going to talk about the witches. Thank you, Tracy. Ooh, we always burn the witches, don't we? We always burn the witches. They did the longest human trial study with herbalism and holistic things, and we only used what worked back in the day, right? Like, Tracy, do you know why we put juniper trees, juniper bushes around the house? You know where that came from? Bugs don't like junipers. We used to put juniper under the house, right? It worked out. It worked out. People plant mint as well, but the mint, they'll take over. So people plant junipers not because they look pretty, but because that's what we did, because it worked. It stopped bugs from coming in the house. Bugs don't like junipers. So now everybody plants these juniper bushes around their house. It worked. It's not like synthetic medicine. It's not like Rockefeller medicine. It's not like trying to find something new. You know, there is the longest running human trial studies, and then there's something, people trying to make something new. And the same thing with Hollywood. Like, that's where Hollywood got its name from. Hollywood, from the holly tree. All the magical wands were made from the holly tree. Why? Because it was a magical bush, the holly tree. They said the elves and things hid in that bush. And I think there's something to it, but that's just me. Other people think that's weird. And then they made Hollywood. A magical place. You can convince people that even the air is coming to get them. And the staged alien invasion, which is coming next. So y'all just hang on. Hang on to your barnacles. What did Susan say? Susan said, she said, strap up, because you think 2020 is bad, 2021. It took 2020 is just part one. It's episode one of what's coming. She said, hold on to your something, buttercups. Just hold on. It's going to get rough. It's going to get rough. Good morning. Good morning. IQ, what we got? Music's kind of kettle-like. So, yeah, it's coming through the speakers, which is weird, Christine. But you can hear it. I just want it to be a background. And then I need somebody to come on so we can play Come On. And that didn't sound right in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, so couple things. Longest running studies in human history is truth. Truth is the longest running study. If they said to put berry bushes around your house to stop the bugs from coming in, and you put berry bushes around your house and the bug came in, you stopped doing that. You did what's true. Until Rockefeller allopathic medicine, until lies in Hollywood and magical spells on your intellect, what you said to people had to be true. They try it, and if it didn't work, they wouldn't do it again. And so over 3,000 years or longer, the things that were true were the things that became culture, the things that we practiced. Until that damn Rockefeller medicine, I tell you what. Anyway, good morning, Christine and Rebecca. Ooh, Rebecca, you will love Gustavo. Just for Rebecca, I'm going to go get y'all a picture of Gustavo. They did a whole documentary. They went out there, tried to catch him. They couldn't catch him. There's a 25-foot long crocodile. He's out there just eating people like cookies and cakes. 300 people, ate 300 people. Gustavo the crocodile. Great story. They did a movie on it. They did a movie about it. All right. But back to what Christ said. Until it's isolated. Until it's isolated. Until it's isolated. It ain't nothing. Let me see. I should be able to do this right here. Until it's isolated, you can't trust the numbers. Until it's isolated, they're still going to what happened in Africa? Motor oil, the mango, and the goat. They all got it. They all got the cuckoo virus. It's like, yeah, until it's isolated, it's not science. You're just trying to scare people. Like I looked at, and this picture's fake news, by the way. That's not Gustavo. That is not Gustavo. It look big, don't it? Because you got this little crocodile right here, and you got the bigger crocodile, and you got this big, massive one here. You know who that is? See, this is fake news. If you do a search for Gustavo, it says it's not Gustavo. That is a female. That is a female who bows to Gustavo. If you watch the documentary, you'll see Gustavo is actually over here. He swims up and he makes her look like she ain't nothing. She holds up her neck. Don't make me find it. I tried to find it. She holds up her neck. Gustavo, this big old massive crocodile that hippos are scared of. Even hippos are scared of Gustavo. I'll find a video if y'all want. I found that to be delicious and interesting. But even Gustavo got to get 8,900 and some more. Somebody do the math for me before it catches up the cuckoo virus. And meanwhile, what? Cardiovascular disease killed 840,000, right? Somebody check my math. 2019 cardiovascular disease, which is isolated. They've isolated cardiovascular disease. So don't say I'm being insensitive. Oh, I'm being sensitive. I'm worried about those 210 people who died of something new. That is a topic. That's something that's got to be researched. But however, we've already isolated, which killed 840,000 people, almost 1 million people every year die of cardiovascular disease. And we've isolated that. We know where that comes from. And you already know it comes from a subsidy. You already know it comes from sugar. It comes from sugar. Sugar is a carcinogen, right? And it creates that inflammation in your veins. If you have not done your studies, look into, what's the name of that book the doctors wrote? The doctors wrote about cardiovascular disease to show that and diabetes came from sugar. The cholesterol myth. Look into the cholesterol myth. That's all you got to do. Kicked you off, Diane. Okay, I don't know what happened. This is all new for me. All right, let's go through here. Yeah, it'll be neat. Somebody comes on. It's warnings here. My cataracts think so. What do your cataracts think? I didn't see. I guess so. Lots of laughter. People will line up for the vaccine. It's heartbreaking. I don't know, Diane. I don't know. I don't know about that. I think people are figuring it out. I think people are starting to question it. I think Big Pharma is going to have a challenge now. You know, now it's so obvious. But the other good thing about knowing how this was probably the weakest flu season that's ever occurred in human history is that you now know who's faking and who isn't. You now know in government who's colluding with the currency manipulators and Big Pharma and Big Tech and Big Defense and big whoever else is out there, Big Walmart, Big Target, big all the ones that disaster capitalized, big private hospital, big insurance companies, everybody who made money off of all the people died from the shutdown, whatever the hell that thing got released, that they didn't isolate it yet, and anything new. You know who's colluding, because those are the governors that are keeping you on lockdown. Those are the countries that are keeping lockdown. You know who's colluding with these currency manipulators. You know who was overreacting, because that'll be the excuse, right? All of this is about stealing your retirement. All of this is about swapping the currencies. All of this is about keeping those in power, the powerful in power. That's what all this is about. And they just need you to blame nature. So as long as everybody's out there blaming nature, or the left is blaming the right's blaming the left, or we're blaming whoever, they're going to get away with it. See, we are in a shifting time. There is no question we're in a shifting time. Things are shifting, but they can still shift in the wrong direction. You know, we have to hold the people accountable who are responsible for millions of people dying in this lockdown. You know, it's like the other thing about the lockdown, people are out protesting to raise the lockdown, and that's the fix. No. So there's restitution, there's restoration, and restitution, I guess, in this scenario would be unsuspending the lockdown immediately, yesterday, yet last month, 3 months ago when we told y'all, 5 months ago when we told y'all about this. That restitution, you got to restore the ability to provide for themselves, or millions more people are going to die. But then the solution isn't restore things. The solution is taking that power from government, right? So you're not getting anywhere by going back to the default of what they shouldn't have done. You have to go back to the default of what they shouldn't have done. You need to take the power from them to make sure they won't pull it and do it again. Murder millions more people. And then there might be some reparations behind that, because a whole lot of people lost their lives. A whole lot of people lost loved ones. We need to find if it came from a bioweapon, for the people who died from that, the people who died from lockdown. You need to make sure the government's held accountable for that. They lost loved ones. There are people who couldn't go visit their loved ones as they died. There's that. The people lost the businesses that have had their businesses. And to me, I'm just like, give the land back. I'm always like, give the land back. I think we tried out this whole micromanage the whole adult population all over the world, and I don't think it worked. I think it was a massive failure. I think you give the land back and you let people go back to taking care of themselves. I don't think that people are easily manageable anymore. Europe is waking up. Hope they keep it up. It seems that they are, but Europe always had a little bit of an attitude with being ruled. I think that they have a little more experience with kings and feudalism. They're not as gullible as we are. So they were always pretty honoring. When I worked in the pharmaceutical industry, the people in the UK, they were quick to cuss out our managers, real quick to cuss out our supervisors. I remember the first time I went over to London, Christine. I got over there and I watched a buddy of mine I worked with across the pond. One's named Harry, another named Johnny. And I watched him cuss our manager out. And I was just like, y'all's going to talk that way to massa? Y'all going to talk that way to massa? Because we're in America. We are in a crony, capitalist, conflict, criminal, crony society. And you die if you don't have money. So maybe in Europe, they're quick to speak up to their massa. I was discombobulated. I just watched Johnny and Harry's talk as a master like he's one of us. They taught me, they've always been a little more ornery, and Americans, they're just easy to turn against each other, which is crazy. I think we will soon have a second mandated lockdown. Robert, they're going to try because they got to cover it up. You know how this works. They got to cover it up. They got to get people blaming nature, get people blamed, because the left will say, it was the right. It was their fault because they didn't stay in the house when the government nanny said so. And then the other side point to the other side. As long as you keep them fighting, they're going to get away with it. What does the right say? With the right, are they whining? Yeah, they kind of a little bit. They got that whole pedophile thing going on. They still think Trump out there chasing pedophiles. I'm just like, that's not how that works, people. That's not how that works. But you just get them blaming each other. They're going to get away with robbing everybody's retirement. So I think they'll try, Robert. The question is, will they get away with it? They're going to try with the vaccine too. The question is, are they going to get away with it? Are people going to do science? People got to die of something. Yeah, they do, Pat. And when people die, I think you have to honor their life and how they died. Like with this whole Black Panther thing. Anytime you mention Hollywood, because Hollywood is literally a pedophile organization. It's literally, it's Hollywood. They use the holly to make the magic wands with the trees, and it became Hollywood because it's magical, and they create this magical world in your eyes and your intellect, make it stupid, and it was spread into the news and everywhere else. They'll try. They'll try. If they get away with it, it's just if people wake up or not. What we got? People will line up, but not all people. That's what will separate us. Transformation and transportation is key. Yeah, people will line up, Mary. I won't be one of them. I can tell you that. I will not be one of them. I'm going to sit back and just let happen what's going to happen. See if they turn to zombies. All right. See if anybody else wants to come on. Ooh, oh, you know what? I was listening to something this morning. I might want to play for you. There are a couple things. I think I got to put my headset on for you to hear this, because this is weird where the speaker is. It's Peter Schiff. I like solutions. And I sent Peter Schiff to my brother because I was like, dude, you listen. I get that you still think politics is something. It's not. You need to listen to people who are telling you what to do. People who have been watching this for a long time. And we can look at the Black Mirror robots. That was a good Lex, but the Black Mirror robots. I'm lying to you because I didn't even watch it. I want to watch it though. And I know it's going to be good because Lex is always good. Is this it right here? I think this is it right here. All right, let me see. I got to do a sound check. Tell me if this sounds good. Although, let me see. I have to see how I'm going to do this.
His excellent book back in 2006, where he warned of the housing crisis and sure got that one right. And then, of course, the real crash. His book came out. We haven't seen nothing yet. We're about to find out if this is the real crash. Let's say hello to our good friend Peter Schiff. Hey, Peter.
Hey, how are you guys?
We're good. How are you? And how are things in your beautiful part of the world?
Well, it's getting warm here in Puerto Rico. So next week we'll be heading north, back up to Connecticut. They're just starting to open things up. Puerto Rico really went off the deep end, I think, when it came to the shutdowns and the quarantine. We actually still have a curfew. In fact, we're not allowed out after 7 p.m. It's really been a bit crazy over here, but at least the weather has been nice.
Well, that's good. Puerto Rico's had a rough couple of years, and this certainly hasn't helped, but it's good to hear that they're just being cautious. How's commerce and the economy and all that?
Oh, it's pretty much shut down. It's hard to get anything done. And as I said, they're gradually starting to open up businesses. But, this is true all over the country. And, when I wrote the book, The Real Crash, I had assumed that the real crash would have come sooner.
Yeah.
But it's now going to come later. But this is it. I think that COVID-19 is the pin that is really putting a gaping hole in this bubble, which got a lot bigger than I imagined it would when I first wrote Crash Proof. And I warned about the then bubble in the housing market and the financial crisis that would result when it popped. My forecast was that the monetary policy that would be pursued and the fiscal policy in the aftermath of that to try to stimulate the economy out of what I said would be the worst recession since the Great Depression. I believe that monetary and fiscal policy would cause a dollar crash, and that would ignite massive inflation, and then the economy would collapse. Well, that didn't happen because instead of just attempting to reflate the bubble, they succeeded. And so that bubble really began to leak air in the last part of 2018. In fact, the air started coming out in 2016. But then Donald Trump kind of threw it for a loop by winning. And that really posed postpone the recession because it created a lot of false optimism. And in that environment, the Fed was finally able to raise rates from 0.25%, which is where it still was when Trump was elected. Remember, before Trump was elected, the Fed had managed just one rate hike. That's all it had, from zero, right? Despite all this talk about how they would normalize rates, they never actually tried to do it until Trump was elected, and then you had all this enthusiasm. And so during that, euphoria, the Fed was able to get rates up to about 2.5. Then all hell broke loose in the fourth quarter of 2018. We had the biggest decline in the stock market since the Great Depression. And that's when the Fed did what I was warning they would do. On pretty much every summit at sea I was at, I said they would have to abort their attempt to normalize interest rates. They could never shrink their balance sheet. If they tried, they would fail. And all of a sudden, the Fed stopped hiking rates. They cut rates 3 times in 2019. They restarted quantitative easing. They stopped quantitative tightening. They started expanding their balance sheet again. So this was already happening before COVID-19 came along. Then COVID-19 happens, and that accelerated the process, right? A much bigger hole in the bubble. And the point that everybody is missing is that COVID-19 is the pin, right? The problem is the bubble that the pin pricked, because everybody thinks we had a great economy before COVID-19. We didn't. We have a bubble. We had a bubble. And so they think all we have to do is like turn the economy back on and everything will go back to being great. Well, we can't go back to the way we were because we can't reflate that bubble. So there is no turning the economy back on because we can't reflate a bubble. So people are wrong if they think that, well, this is going to be a quick, self-inflicted wound and we're going to heal. It's not. I mean, yes, COVID is making it worse. But the problem is the economy that existed before COVID, and not only is the disease going to make it worse, but the government's cure is far worse than the disease itself, and not just the shutting down the economy. It's the financing the shutdown with budget deficits and printing money. I mean, it'd be one thing if we were using our savings, right, to get us through this storm. But we're not. We don't have any savings. Thanks to the Fed, we're all broke, right? Everybody is living paycheck to paycheck. Everybody is levered up. And so while everybody is sheltering at home and not working, not producing goods, not providing services, the Fed is printing all this money. And in fact, there's a lot of people today that are sitting at home getting bigger checks from the government than they got from their employers. Except when they were working, they were contributing into the economy. Now they contribute nothing, but they're trying to take out by spending the government money. So we are creating an inflationary nightmare, right? All this government, right? This huge increase in government. People are not asking, how are we going to pay for this? And the government is spending trillions and trillions more than it was. The government is now actually spending more money from debt than taxation. I just looked at the numbers today. 51.5 cents out of every federal dollar spent has been borrowed. So the national debt is 25.5 trillion and skyrocketing. The Fed's balance sheet is 7 trillion. So we're getting this massive increase in government spending, and no one's getting a tax hike. In fact, people are getting tax cuts. So how are we going to pay for all this government? We're not getting it for free. So it's inflation. It's going to be a destruction in the purchasing power of the dollar. So all the problems I was worried about a decade ago are now much bigger than they were then. And so the inflationary consequence, the real crash, is going to be far bigger now than it would have been had it come sooner.
Well, that's one of the things you talked about on the summit, certainly at conferences, the fact that the longer we wait, the worse it is. In this case, Peter, you referred to COVID as a black swan with teeth. Like it's bad because not only is it the bubble, but it's lingering and it's taking time. We've got unemployment, we've got businesses closing and all that stuff that's going on. What do you see that eventuality like?
Well, look, this is another financial crisis, only much bigger than '08. I mean, it doesn't even matter now about the pin. The pin is irrelevant at this point because the bubble's already been pricked, right? And so what was the pin in 2008? It was real estate prices falling, right? Because once real estate prices fell, then real estate loans went into default. And then the lenders lost money, so it turned into a financial crisis. And also, people now had less wealth because the recovery was kind of powered by the wealth effect. People living in appreciated homes not only felt richer, but they can actually borrow the equity out of their homes and spend it. So you had a lot of spending that was a function of the real estate wealth, which all went away when the real estate wealth went away. But this is a much bigger financial crisis because it's just not just the mortgage borrowers who aren't paying their loans. It's everybody. Think about all the businesses that are defaulting now, right? Not just homeowners that are defaulting. I mean, this is not just a residential real estate crisis. This is going to be a commercial real estate crisis. I mean, commercial real estate kind of got a pass in 08 because when the Fed slashed rates, that kind of propped up the commercial market. But this time around, rates were practically at zero before the crisis. So it's not like going from 2 to 0 is that big a deal in real estate compared to the loss of rental income. Right? You got the office buildings, people are not paying their rents, or companies are going bankrupt, and other companies are deciding, you know, my people are working from home anyway. What do I need all this space? You got like WeWork and companies like that have all this space for sublet or gone bankrupt. And then you have the nightmare in retail, which these companies were on life support before COVID. They were hanging on by a string, and now the string is gone. So the stores, the department stores, in the malls, in the shopping centers, these guys aren't paying their rent. But it's not just, the stores. Gyms aren't paying their rent, right? Look at now, the rental car companies are going under. Avis just filed. That auto bubble is now popped. Look at all the Americans that have borrowed money to buy cars. What's going to happen to the used car market when you have all these cars that the rental companies, they're not even buying new cars. They were big buyers of cars. Now they're going to be big sellers of cars. So the bubble, air's coming out of the auto bubble. So this is the financial crisis on steroids as far as the amount of debt that can't be paid. And so the loans that are going into default, the losses that are going to be spread over the economy. And so in order to try to, prop everything up, the Fed is having to act on a much bigger scale. So everything it did wrong in 08, it's doing wrong now, only on a bigger scale. It's having to print way more money. It's having to bail out way more companies. Right? The deficits that we had back then are far bigger now. And people think, well, we got away with it back then, right? We printed all this money and we didn't have to suffer any adverse consequences. The dollar didn't crash. Bonds didn't crash. We didn't have the inflation, right? We had a slow recovery, but it was the longest one ever. We had a recovery, and look, real estate went back up, stocks went back up. So people think that because we got away with it before, we're going to get away with it again. We're not. Right? People have been lulled into a false sense of security, complacency, and thinking that we can print all this money and not have any negative consequences. Well, they're going to be even worse now than they would have been had we had them a decade ago.
So, Peter, let's talk about that because there's all this money printing, and we did see that movie before, and you brought our attention to that several times. Sometimes on this show, we talked about the latest round of Twist or QE or whatever they were calling it at the time. And now, more money printing than ever, it's actually working, or someone's working its way into the hands of people who are spending it on rent or food or whatever they need. Where does that all show up eventually? I know you have opinions on gold, on the dollar. What do you think this looks like in a year or two?
Well, it is going to show up in consumer prices in a big, big way. Because, there are two things that are going on now in the economy. On the supply side, we're having a reduction in supply. Right? Because if fewer people are working, well, they're not producing products that they produced in the past. They're not providing services that they were out there providing in the past. So the supply of stuff is going down. Right? And certainly, a lot of the stuff that we were importing from countries like China, they're not making as much stuff anymore to export to us. They might consume it themselves. So we're not going to be able to import as much stuff. We're not going to make as much stuff. So there's less stuff. At the same time, there's more money, right? People have more money now, in many cases, than they had before. But they were making stuff, right? Now they're getting checks for doing nothing. So you have more money and less stuff, right? Obviously, consumer prices are going to go way up. And, a way to look at that kind of in a microcosm is look what happened to airfares, right? In the weeks that immediately followed COVID-19, ticket prices collapsed. I mean, the airlines were selling tickets. I remember a guy I was working for who was looking at tickets from San Juan to Boston. It was $3 to get a ticket. Now, that's less than the Uber ride to get to the airport. I mean, it's like, this is crazy because nobody was buying tickets. So they were just giving them away because the planes were going to fly anyway and the seats were empty. Well, anyway, now I just looked. We were looking at buying tickets to go back to Connecticut, right? I've never seen them this high now because what's happened is the airlines canceled a bunch of flights. So now the supply of flights is down, right? Delta, which used to have flights every day, now there's only a few a week. So a lot of JetBlue used to have a flight directly to Hartford, which sometimes we could cancel that. So a lot of times you have to have, you have to go connecting. But I used to like to fly Delta Business. They had the best business class seat nonstop. And I looked, the last ticket I bought nonstop was $343 per ticket, which is not a bad price. And the coach was only like 125, 150. When I went back online on Delta, the cheapest business class I could find one way was over $1,800. And on those flights, even the coach seats were $1,600. 10 times what they were before COVID. So what happens is even though the demand to fly went down, right, not as many people were buying tickets, the supply of seats went down even more. So then if you really wanted to fly, it cost you. And so that's what's going to happen in this recession. Yes, demand is going to go down. Everybody is focusing on that. People are going to be unemployed. People aren't making as much money. People have to start rebuilding their savings now that they had a wake-up call. Hey, I'm broke. I can't pay my rent, right? So people are going to cut back on their spending. And so demand will be down, but supply is going to go down even more. So prices are going to rise even as demand falls. We haven't experienced that before. Well, we did it in the 1970s, but we haven't experienced it recently. That's what's been able to mitigate every downturn. Now, as far as the finance is concerned, see, I think this is the straw that breaks the camel's back for the dollar. And the reason we were able to get away with these monetary mistakes in the past was because the dollar survived as the reserve currency. And it's still surviving today. That's why we've been able to print trillions and trillions this year, and we haven't seen the dollar panic. But I think we're going to cross the line, right, on how much debt the world is willing to allow and continue to accept the dollar as the reserve. See, the problem is you don't know where that line is until you've crossed it, right? Because it surprises me that we haven't already crossed it. But I think we're going to do it in this cycle. And it may be early in this cycle. It may be before the end of this year. Who knows? But we are going to pass the point of no return, and then the dollar is going to collapse. And then all the inflation chickens come home to roost. The prices really skyrocket. Interest rates soar. And, right now, interest on the national debt is about, $350 billion a year because we're paying 1.5%, right? What happens when interest rates go to 5%? We'd be paying more on interest than we pay on Medicare. In fact, if interest rates went to 10% by the time the national debt was at 30 trillion, which is probably next year, I think interest on the national debt would be more than the national defense, Medicare, and Social Security combined. In fact, we could be at a point where 100% of our tax revenue would be needed just to pay the interest on the national debt. We'd have to shut down everything else government did, which obviously we're not going to do. So we're going to default, right? Either we do it honestly or we do it through inflation. My bet is through inflation. So all these dollar-denominated assets become worthless, and so people need to do what I've been advocating as quickly as they can. I mean, I was telling people to do it too early, but better than too late, because people are about to get wiped out who don't have gold, don't have silver, don't have mining stocks, right? Don't have overseas assets where income streams are coming in currencies that are not the dollar, the currencies that are going to gain the purchasing power that the dollar loses.
Well, that's something you've been teaching us about for quite some time, looking at companies that are in other places that aren't as beholden to the dollar or don't have the same concerns. All currencies are fiat. So that's, the back to the game is pretty sure that they haven't been the dollar. But there's been moves already, right? China and Russia and lots of folks out there who are holding these dollars as they go down in value. They're looking for an alternative. What do you think how does that manifest? How does the dollar get knocked out of the reserve currency, and what takes its place?
Yeah, well, remember, I mean, we're only the cleanest dirty shirt in the hamper by default, right? And it's only because that we are the reserve currency that our shirt looks less dirty, right? Because it's almost like the worse things get around the world, the more money comes into the U.S. And so as things get bad, we get more money to borrow and spend. So we actually benefit from everybody else's problem, because if everybody has a problem, they lend us more money. Right. But what that means is that we're able to make our own problems worse, because the more money we borrow, the bigger our debt bubble gets. So that's the paradox, is the worse things get, the more money the world wants to loan us, which only allows us to dig ourselves into an even deeper hole than the one that everybody is ignoring. So we're actually in worse shape. We're actually the dirtiest shirt in that hamper, except no one sells it yet, right? Because we're the reserve currency. So, but at some point, right, the stench is going to be so bad that, I mean, how big can these deficits get, right? We're at what, 3-4 trillion a year? I mean, we're about to find out, right? Because we're going to pass that point. But, other people make a mistake. They say, no, the dollar is always going to be the reserve currency because there's no other currency that can take its place. And I would agree in that there's no other currency that deserves to be the reserve currency. But then neither does the dollar, right? So if there are no currencies, including the dollar, that should be the reserve currency, then why should the dollar continue in that role when we have a perfect alternative, gold, right? Gold was the reserve asset before the dollar. It wasn't the British pound. It was gold. The pound was the dominant currency, but gold was the reserve, right? We created this situation where the dollar became a reserve instead of gold only because the dollar was as good as gold. Because at the time that we got the world to accept this arrangement, if you had $35, you had an ounce of gold. You could get it whenever you wanted. We had all the gold. We were the world's richest creditor nation. We had these huge trade surpluses. I mean, everything that was manufactured in America. If you wanted to buy anything, you needed dollars. So we had all the gold. We had all the stuff. It made sense. And we told the world, hey, if you hold dollars, if you hold gold, you don't get any interest on your gold. But if you let us store your gold in Fort Knox, whatever, and we'll just give you dollars, you can buy U.S. treasuries. And you're going to get, what, 7%, 8%, whatever the yields were back then? And that was like a good deal because the world got to have their gold and interest too. Right? Hey, why hold the gold and get nothing when we can get these treasuries and get all this interest? We get our gold whenever we want. So that's the reason that the world went on this standard. Of course, they would never agree to it based on today's terms. You take these dollars that are backed by nothing, and by the way, you buy treasuries and you're going to get no yield. Nobody would do it, right? So we would never have the dollar as the reserve if we tried to go on it now. It's only because it's left over from what we started with, right? So there's a lot of inertia to giving it up. We went off the gold standard in 1971. The dollar tanked, lost 2/3 of its value. Gold went from 35 to...
Okay, so we're going to stop with that. Ooh, That looks weird. What the heck? Let's not do that. That's like another dimension. Anyway, so it's important, I think, to know why all this was done, right? They're currency manipulators, right? There's a fiat currency, and this is what they did during the Great Depression, right? This was the call on the credit. And so you have people yelling and screaming, put your money in gold. You need to think about where you are. You need to think about where you are before you do that, especially if the government claims that they own. Right? Like now that this whole, I gotta change my background. Now that this whole zombie apocalypse thing is coming to an end, assuming people don't get that shot, we're moving into the next scare tactic, which I thought I had it ready to go. I guess it didn't. I didn't actually put it up there. Hold on. And yeah, the gold was all stolen. This is our ancestors' gold. It was never their gold. They stole it all. We went to the dollars of world reserve currency after World War II. Right? We had the only economy that was left put together. The whole world trusted us. We took everybody's money and we spent it all. You got scammed. So, and it was never ours to begin with. And this is why I think who said that? Tracy, that right there. And this is why when I say give the land back, it never was your land. Right? Give the gold back. It was never their gold. It was never theirs. It's not, hey, give us a handout. It's no, undo the crap that you did from the very beginning. So we need the land back. There's no question. We need the resources back. There are people who continue to play this. So you can invest in minerals, and he's right about that, right? Investing in minerals, investing in gold. If this remains stable, that might not be a bad idea. Hang on. However, the fact of the matter is, ooh, that's weird. This is weird. I appreciate y'all working with me. I got to figure out how to make this work in this way where I can bring people on. So if anybody wants to come on, send me a message real quick, or just say something in the chat. I'll send you a link. We have to get the land back. It's the only way you fight an enemy you can't see. You got to fight them by taking what they denied you. They denied us the land and the minerals and the resources. They want to stay in power. Peter Schiff, I love, because he was one of the ones from the very beginning that said this is a fiat currency. It's collapsing. They need some sort of event to stage a currency reshift to a new global currencies, revalue them, and the current people who are in power to stay in power. And that's what all of this was. That's what all of this was, for the most part. I mean, there's a lot of other things that are going on, but from the way I see it, that's what all of this was, because they've called that from the very beginning. I go back and do some comments, and hopefully we can get a discussion going. But so anyway, so tired of hearing about how people can obtain wealth by doing this, that, or the other, and forget about stuff and live simply. And Sandra, and that's kind of what my limits with like Peter Schiff and the whole economic stuff and bankers is I need to know what's currently happening in the world, right? Because they are more in tune and more in tap with it. But as far as like how to gain wealth or anything, we need to be going the opposite direction, right? We need to be learning how to live simpler. If you are trying to be the rich, if you're trying to eat the rich, you will have the same ailment as the rich, right? You become what you eat. How does that saying go? You are what you eat. You are what you eat. And that's why we shouldn't be eating the rich. We shouldn't be chasing after them. These people are psychopathic and they are criminal. Their world has to come to an end, period. End of discussion, end of story. Learn how to live simply again. Get your strength back, become strong, learn how to fend for yourself and those around you. Absolutely, totally agree. But as a good demonstration, you know, they are the ones who pointed out and said, this is coming, this is a bubble, and it's got to burst. And he explained that the COVID was the pin that burst the bubble. We always create these fantasy bubbles, and they always get burst. They always get burst. This is how the crony criminal world works. If you're still chasing after money, you're trying to maintain this crony, dirty, foul, sick world that enslaves everybody. And for me, it's all about the kids. It's always about the next generation. We have to do them better. You're not doing them better by saving more and getting more retirement and trying to hand down, you know, your house you don't own the land or your car or savings. That's not helping kids. Kids need to be free. Human beings need to be free. They're sentient creatures, and they'll never be free as long as we cling to the psychopathic system that keeps us all slaves. Always back to the land. Give people the land back. You can't govern 7 billion people. Give them the land back. Let them govern themselves. I'm waiting for the government to apologize. That's what I'm waiting on. I need an apology. I need an apology for all the years of colonization, theft, murder, rape, destruction, blowing everything up to 0.01%. Not really concerned with what the people look like who did it, because we're all being played by this system at all times. I'm concerned with the architects and the model. The model needs to go away, and I need an apology. This is what I want to hear from your government. I want to hear excuses from people, because that's all they're going to do is make excuses for that 6% all day long. Well, it's comorbidities and the comorbidities and the comorbidities and the COVID. And I'm just like, okay, well, where do the comorbidities come from? Where are the other common plagues coming from? They're coming from government subsidies. So it's still government kill job, no matter how you look at it. But it's obvious that they overstated this. What I need to hear is, I apologize. We were stupid. We were played by the WHO, the CDC, somebody else, Bill Gates, Fauci. They played all of us, and we're ignorant. We're going to take care of everybody. We'll give you land back, give you some growth food systems. Y'all got to take care of yourselves. We can't take care of you. They told us to give you a digital dollar. We're not going to do that. We know we need to get rid of money. We need to re-empower you to take care of your damn self. We can't do it. The whole king slave master model does not work, and it'll never work. We'll never get together 7 billion people who all want to live the same way. Y'all need to go be free. You need to take care of yourself, form tribes among yourselves, take care of yourselves. Here is the land back. We apologize, and kiss. And no, don't kiss, because that's what they said in Braveheart. On the way out, and he said, kiss everybody's butt on the way out. You know, when he told them where they can go. Getting out of Ireland. No, don't do that. They do that a little too much. They do that. You need to apologize to everybody you see on your way out. Right? You know, this is a world that has to go back to what works. The longest running studies in human civilization is people taking care of themselves. Strong people, strong communities, not massive governments, not currencies, but food, land, things that are sustainable. That's always worked. Back to basics. No more trying to create a synthetic world, keeping a 0.01% still in power. Architects need to go away too. Yes, they do, Marion. The model needs to go, and the modelers need to go. The whole damn thing needs to roll the whole thing up and throw it away. Do not keep it. Do not keep any of it. And be very wary, Marianne, because a lot of these people, like I talk about these black elites, we're trying to save the black people. Nope, they just want to hold the whip. That's all they want to do. Everybody wants to rule the world. If you give them a chance, they will. I just want everybody to have clean food, water, air, and shelter. That's it, Tracy. And I think I realize that as well. And I try to change my behavior to make that happen. And I realize that the political system isn't going to make that happen. The political system is to divide everybody up, to keep stealing the food, the water, the land, and the shelter, and hold it over the children's heads so they will have to be enslaved to the same billionaires who created it. What you got? Kiss me, bye-bye. Yeah, but they're not me. Don't kiss my bye-bye. I kiss somebody kissing on my bye-bye. It's going to be some problems, Lori. The psychopathic billionaires just need to go. If the government really cared about the people, they give us 16 acres, heirloom seeds, period. The only got to add to that, Trish Gosh / Blankenship, if y'all ain't found that Oak Island treasure, is chickens. Chickens. If your government loved you, they give you chickens. All right? Because people don't starve with chickens. People do not starve with chickens. If they got chickens, land, seeds, they never starve. Because sometimes, Trish, people suck at growing food. Never pumpkins. Pumpkins is cheating, by the way. I let everybody know that. Did I already say that? Sometimes it's hard to grow. People can't grow nothing, but you got chickens, you always got eggs, you can live. But if you're growing pumpkins, you're not actually growing food. I don't want to hear they ain't no way. I got a garden. I got pumpkins. Nope, pumpkins, they grow themselves. There ain't nothing you can't mess up growing pumpkins. I cannot stop that damn pumpkin. Taking over my whole daggone, it's taking over everything. And I'm letting it go. I'm all excited. I got about 100 pumpkins out there. I'm gonna have pumpkin pie coming out my ears in the apocalypse. But if they love you, that's what they do. The other thing they would do, Trish Gosh, is they would they would start subsidizing the poisons, right? If they cared about me, they say, you know what? We've been poisoning Gerard's food, his water, his air. We've been putting glyphosate and carcinogens on everything. We're going to stop. And they're not stopping that, right? They're still full bore, still rolling straight ahead. But I like solutions. And Trish, this is why people don't like me, because I like to say things that are true. You need to take care of you. You need to say, no, you don't want no government nanny. Because they're bringing that, hang on. They're bringing the, where is it? The Black Mirror robots. This is how they take care of you. They go to Boston Dynamics and they find robots to figure out how to make you do what they want you to do. Right here. If you have not watched the Black Mirror, please watch it. This is the lives we're going to lead if we continue to put these people in power, right? They want a highly controlled slave plantation. And if you have not, what's the name of that episode with the robots, the dog robots? Metalhead. It's called Metalhead. You need to watch that episode. That will explain to you how they're going to control you. They don't love you. They don't care about you. They're not worried about your sniffles. Okay. All they want to do is make sure that you do what they want, which is work till you die, and then give you more debt. And now they're coming for your retirement. That's what George Carlin said. They're coming for your retirement. They're going to get it. They're going to get it all, as he said. You know, we continue to blame each other. Do not blame nature. Don't blame the left. Don't blame the right. You don't even have to blame Big Pharma. You have to stop and say, well, we're the problem. We let government get away with too much. We give them too much power. We need to take all that power back. And then we need to take back our own power. Check this out. This is Lex.
I think this might be the last ridiculous question, but I aspire to ask as many ridiculous questions of a brilliant MIT professor. Okay. I don't know if you've seen the Black Mirror.
It's funny. I never watched the episode. I know what had happened, though, because I gave a talk to some MIT faculty one day on a unassuming, Monday or whatever. I was telling them about the state of robotics. And I showed some video of Boston Dynamics of the quadruped spot at the time. It was their early version of Spot. And there was a look of horror that went across the room. I said, what? I've shown videos like this a lot of times. What happened? And it turned out that this video this Black Mirror episode had changed the way people watched the videos I was putting out.
The way they see these kinds of robots. So I talked to so many people who are just terrified because of that episode, probably, of these kinds of robots. I almost want to say they almost kind of like enjoy being terrified. I don't even know what it is about human psychology. They kind of imagine doomsday, the destruction of the universe or our society, and kind of like enjoy being afraid. I don't want to simplify it, but it feels like they talk about it so often, it almost, there does seem to be an addictive quality to it. I talked to a guy named Joe Rogan, who's kind of the flag bearer for being terrified of these robots. Do you have two questions? One, do you have an understanding of why people are afraid of robots? And the second question is, in Black Mirror, just to tell you the episode, I don't even remember it that much anymore, but these robots, I think they can shoot like a pellet or something. It's basically a spot with a gun. And how far are we away from having robots that go rogue like that? Basically Spot that goes rogue for some reason and somehow find the gun.
So, I'm not a psychologist. I don't know exactly why people react the way they do. I think we have to be careful about the way robots influence our society and life. I think that's something that's a responsibility that us need to embrace. I don't think robots are going to come after me with a kitchen knife or a pellet gun right away, and if they're programmed in such a way that I used to joke with Atlas that all I had to do was run for 5 minutes and the battery would run out. But actually, they've got a very big battery, so it was over an hour. I think the fear is a bit cultural, because I mean, you notice that I think in my age in the US, we grew up watching Terminator. But if I grew up at the same time in Japan, I probably would have been watching Astro Boy. And there's a very different reaction to robots in different countries. Right? So I don't know if it's a human innate fear of metal marvels or if it's something that we've done to ourselves with our sci-fi.
Yeah, the stories we tell ourselves through movies, through just through popular media. But if I were to tell, if you were my therapist and I said I'm really terrified that we're going to have these robots very soon that will hurt us, how do you approach making me feel better? Why shouldn't people be afraid? I think there's a video that went viral recently. Everything was Boston Man was called viral in general, but usually it's like really cool stuff, like they're doing flips and stuff, or like sad stuff. It's Atlas being hit with a broomstick or something like that. But there's a video where I think one of the new production robots, which are awesome, it was like patrolling somewhere in some country, and like people immediately were like saying like this is like the dystopian future, like the surveillance state. For some reason, like you could just have a camera, like something about Spot being able to walk on 4 feet, like really terrified people. So like, what do you say to those people? I think there is a legitimate fear there because so much of our future is uncertain. But at the same time, technically speaking, we're not there yet. So what do you say?
I mean, I think technology is complicated. It can be used in many ways. I think there are surely software attacks somebody could use to do great damage. Maybe they have already. I think wheeled robots could be used in bad ways too. Drones. I don't think that. Let's see. I don't want to be building technology just because I'm compelled to build technology and I don't think about it. But I would consider myself a technological optimist, I guess, in the sense that I think we should continue to create and evolve, and our world will change. And if we will introduce new challenges, we'll screw something up maybe, but I think also we'll invent ourselves out of those challenges and life will go on.
So it's interesting because you didn't mention like this is technically too hard.
I don't think robots are. I think people attribute a robot that looks like an animal as maybe having a level of self-awareness or consciousness or something that they don't have yet. Right? So it's not our ability to anthropomorphize those robots is probably we're assuming that they have a level of intelligence that they don't yet have. And that might be part of the fear. So in that sense, it's too hard. But there are many scary things in the world, right? So we're right to ask those questions. We're right to think about the implications of our work.
Right. In the short term, as we're working on it for sure, is there something long term that scares you about our future with AI and robots? A lot of folks, from Elon Musk to Sam Harris to a lot of folks talk about this, existential threats. Artificial intelligence. Oftentimes, robots kind of inspire that the most because of the anthropomorphism. Do you have any fears?
It's an important question. Actually, I think I like Rod Brooks' answer maybe the best on this. I think, and it's not the only answer he's given over the years, but maybe one of my favorites is he says it's not going to be, he's got a book, Flesh and Machines, I believe. It's not going to be the robots versus the people. We're all going to be robot people. Because we already have smartphones, some of us have serious technology implanted in our bodies already, whether we have a hearing aid or a pacemaker or anything like this. Amputations might have prosthetics. That's a trend, I think, that is likely to continue. I mean, this is now wild speculation. But when we get to cognitive implants and the like, and
Yeah, with neural link brain computer interfaces, it's interesting. So there's a chance between humans and robots. It's going to be impossible to be scared of the other out there, the robot, because the robot will be part of us. Essentially, it'd be so intricately sort of part of our society that
it might not even be implanted part of us, but just it's so much a part of our society.
So in that sense, the smartphone is already the robot we should be afraid of. Yeah. And all of the usual fears arise of the misinformation, the manipulation, all those kinds of things. The problems are all the same. They're human problems, essentially. It feels like.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way we interact with each other online is changing the value we put on, personal interaction, and that's a crazy big change that's going to happen and rip through our society. It has already been ripping through our society, right? And that has implications that are massive. I don't know if we should be scared of it or should go with the flow, but I don't see some battle lines between humans and robots being the first thing to worry about.
I mean, I do want to just, as a kind of comment, maybe you can comment about your just feelings about Boston Dynamics in general. But, I love science. I love engineering. I think there's so many beautiful ideas in it. And when I look at Boston Dynamics or Legged Robots in general, I think they inspire people curiosity and feelings in general, excitement about engineering more than almost anything else in popular culture. And I think that's such an exciting responsibility and possibility for robotics. And Boston Dynamics is riding that wave pretty damn well. Like, they found it, they've discovered that hunger and curiosity in the people, and they're doing magic with it. I don't care if I guess they're a company that can make money, but they're already doing incredible work and inspiring the world about technology. I mean, you have thoughts about Boston Dynamics, maybe others, your own work, robotics, and inspiring the world?
I completely agree. I think Boston Dynamics is absolutely awesome. I think I show my kids those videos, and the best thing that happens is sometimes they've already seen, I just think it's the pinnacle of success in robotics that is just one of the best things that's happened. I absolutely completely agree.
One of the heartbreaking things to me is how many robotics companies fail.
Mm-hmm.
How hard it is to make money with a robotics company. Like, iRobot went through hell just to arrive at Aruba to figure out one product. And then there's so many home robotics companies like Jibo, Anki, Anki. The cutest toy, that's a great robot, I thought, went down. I'm forgetting a bunch of them. But a bunch of robotics companies failed.
Yeah.
Rod's company, Rethink Robotics. Do you have anything hopeful to say about the possibility of making money with robots?
Oh, I think you can't just look at the failures. You can look at Boston Dynamics as a success. There's lots of companies that are still doing amazingly good work in robotics. I mean, this is the capitalist of ecology or something, right? I think you have many companies, you have many startups, and they push each other forward, and many of them fail, and some of them get through. And that's sort of the natural way of those things. I don't know that.
All right. So I guess it was hard for you guys to hear. Sorry about that. We'll figure this out. It's going to take a little while to get used to a new setup, but I want to try to continue to increase our functionality. I want to be able to bring people on and have a discussion while we go through this. So, I mean, the bottom line when it comes to all the technology and the automation is it's not going anywhere. You're not going to stop it. All we can do is try to utilize it for good things. Right? So this is what it is about in terms of taking back control of everything, not just the land, the food, the water, but the technology. We created all of it. Our ancestors created it. Why in the world will we let billionaires continue to drive it and keep it? This is what we need to utilize. We don't need robots to watch people. We don't need robots to chase people down in the streets or see what they're doing through the windows in their house. We need automation to feed people. There you go. Here's another thing. Road projects, construction. You know, these are things that, you know, we've let the country fall apart. We don't spend any money on us anymore. But for me, it goes back to 1871. Everything goes back to the Washington, D.C. Act of 1871, Sandra. Every time I stop and I think about how come they're not doing anything here and they're supposed to be a government, it's usually because they're not. They're a governing corporation. We need to repeal the Act of 1871. I don't have any confidence in a for-profit corporation governing the land that I live in. I have no confidence. It's not zero confidence, it's negative confidence. Negative 1871, negative 1,871 confidence in a corporation, a for-profit corporation to take care of the land that they dominantly rule. Do y'all see the Saudi prince has a huge robot who guards him and built with built-in guns and looks evil as hell? I have not, Marianne, but that's the future. That is absolutely the future. They will all get massive metal machines to make sure that our kids can't take back their world, which is why we absolutely cannot, under any circumstances, move over to a digital world. That is totally a mistake, completely a mistake. You know, and so cuckoo virus being a pin bursting the bubble of the economic system and the fiat currencies, the overvalued markets, it also is a pin to burst the bubble to create a more powerful Black Mirror social credit scoring world where everybody's controlled digitally, right? Defund the police. Yeah, you can defund the police all you want because they actually don't need police. Right. When they control your microwave, they can just turn it off because they know that every night you like to make a hot pocket at 8 o'clock before you go to bed. They just turn your microwave off remotely. Say, hey, you need to report to the facility to, I don't know, pay a ticket, citation, something. I don't know. All right. I'm going to do comments and I'm going to run. This is a weird format. I don't know if I'll keep it. I don't know. I have to find out a better way to do it. I have to have a better audio. I have to have a way to show the videos a little easier. Yeah, that was my phone ringing. So it's I'm playing the video from that, and that's not going to work. So growing pain. Those DARPA dogs are real. You know what, Jesse, what bothers me is the DARPA dogs. Not the actual dog, but the fact that they have that and they're telling us about it. What are they not telling us? Right? Like the reason that's creepy to me is because it's what they're showing us. I wonder what they have, what they're not showing us. I think that more than anything is what should keep people up at night. Trish sucks at growing food, so chickens are good. A good addition. Colorado gardening, I'd starve. Well, Trish, with giving the land back, you know, you should be able to take care of yourself. And this is all of our ancestors' they were all sustainable, right? They all did it. They all knew what they were doing. They had the ability to do these things, and that ability was taken from us, burned up, and we were all made slaves and dependent on a system. So any new system has to teach people how to take care of the land. And it's very easy to do, but also get some chickens while they're learning how to take care of the land. And that's something they can do tomorrow. So 16 acres for everybody. And then people, I like it when I say that and people say, well, that's not practical. Like it's not practical to give people what they're due. Like, what are you really saying? It's not practical to tell the government to give us the land. It's not the government's land. They stole it. They stole every last square foot of it. And they murdered and killed and raped a lot of people to do it. Okay? It's not theirs. That's called restitution. And the people who came here, the people who were dragged here, and the people who came here, they were all starved in their countries or dragged here on a boat. So you owe everybody. You owe everybody that 16 acres. That's not practical. What do they need the land for? Is it practical to leave 240 million people starving? Is that practical? Is it practical to let your neighbors starve while you got food in your cabinets and you need to go to work and your little kid's coming home from school on a bus and your neighbors are starving, looking at that kid trying to get in the house? That's not practical. Talk about practicality. They can give the land back. Giving up money isn't practical. What do you need the money for? We have 3D printers. We did that yesterday. I wish somebody would give me a good opposition to why we shouldn't prioritize human life over everything else. I've not seen any good opposition to that. In Morgan Freeman's voice, it turns out that, I got to click on it. I'm learning, hang on. It turns out that Aerosmith was wrong. We should not, in fact, eat the rich. No, we shouldn't, Matthew. I'm not sure that the rich are human. I'm not sure that they're human, Matthew. I mean, if you really think about it, like they do things that I've never seen any human do. Like they can starve, kill, murder people. Now, I know we got stupid people, not stupid people, ignorant people. You got ignorant people who want to keep the elite in power. But they only do that because they don't think about the kids in Yemen. They don't think about the people all over Latin America. They don't think about the people in Africa. That's the only reason why they do that, right? Because they have these ice cream worlds where they think their side is good and the other side is evil, and they're just lied to. Some of them know better, but the majority, I think, are lied to. And usually when you give them the right amount of information, you show them the right picture of some child in Yemen, said, no, the Republicans didn't do that. You did it too. Did it with them. You know, and if the fun part, I think if you click on what they say, you click on Antifa site now, it takes you straight to Joe Biden's. They take you straight to Joe Biden's, and I love it. I think it's interesting. People are like, that's a hack. I'm like, yeah, okay, if you say so. I remember back when I did server administration, and I remember that when you do those DNS, I forgot the name of them. They're such long ago, the DNS entries. If you have a failure, those servers used to default to the root domain. It would default to the root domain for the server that it's on. And so it's interesting. I'm not saying that it's true, but it's interesting that Antifa failed and it went straight to Joe Biden's site. It's almost as if they're on the same server. I pretty much guarantee you that you probably got Al-Qaeda on that server and ISIS.com on that server. Shoot, you probably got Donald Trump 2020 on that server. Yeah, because they like to say it's different. I'm just like, no, Donald Trump isn't any different. The presidents have no power. They all work for the same industries. When DonaldTrump.com, Donald Trump 2020, whatever, when that forwards over to DNC.com, then you'll see the real world. Then it'll be a real apocalypse. And they all forward over to the pharmaceutical website. You know, no, I guess his would forward over to Gavi Alliance, maybe. You know, owned by, or created by Bill Gates. The world is a scary place, but you got to accept the things that are evilly untrue, I think, to make any real change. That's why I like the ugly truth. I don't like a lie. I don't like a delicious, sweet lie. Give me the ugly truth so I can make a good decision from it. An open source world. I'm making stuffed zucchini. Oh, you know what, Tracy, you got to give me the recipe because I have so much damn zucchini. I don't even know what to do with it. I have no idea what to do. I can't get it. I can't get it fast enough. I already posted one picture. I got zucchini this big, and they're like, yeah, that's not a good eating zucchini. You can make zucchini bread out of that or something. I have like 5 of them this big. And every time I pull one off, it's like, oh, it's little, a new one's coming up. And I come back like 2 days later and the day it's that big again. So I'm gonna need that recipe. I've been drying basil and I've been making peppermint, spearmint oil, getting ready for the apocalypse. Probably twice a week now I'm doing that, but I've got so much food popping off of this thing because I did what I told everybody to do. I love it how they tell me, Tracy, well, you just go on the internet and you just talk about it. Like, no, I literally am hustling and running all damn day, getting ready for what's coming. I still got potatoes I can't get to. I got potatoes I got to dig up. The longest running, and I'm going to try to take that and tie it back to the title. The longest running study in human history is that people that have grown their own damn food are healthier, stronger, can take care of themselves, and they can tell the king and lords where they need to go put themselves when their economy collapses. That was a long study and it worked. We should go back to the longest running study. We should go back to the things that are true instead of burning the witches is what we always tend to do. The holly trees are the same reason the Druids love the holly trees, the same way your 0.01% loves Hollywood. Sorry about the audio. I see y'all complaining about the audio. Sorry about that. I'm trying to do a new format while I'm hustling. Movement for a People's Party. Jimmy, every time somebody posts something, I don't know if you know this, I agree with it. And I'm like, yeah, we need a People's Party. And then I question myself for agreeing with it. Do we need parties? Shouldn't we just get rid of all politics and parties, government kings and lords, and just make the earth one big party? One big hippie fest love party where the kids are free. They can go anywhere they want. Everybody owns their own land. If they only want to come to the party because they don't like the music, they can stay on their own land. Leave us the hell alone. I like that world. I don't want a People's Party. Can we have like an earth that's free? Maybe that's what it is. Well, I like to question myself. I like I said, I say something, then I try to question the best that I can. Like, are we getting to the root of the problem by creating a People's Party, or is government the problem? Is creating something that we give away our sovereignty to, our power to, is that the problem? And so it's just like, you know, because we can move over to a People's Party and then we might end up in the same pot and we don't actually resolve the problem. It's like giving the world to the Democrats or the DNC. And it's like, okay, so you do that. Now you got black slavery. Is that any better? We tried that before with the Barbary Pirates and the Corsairs, where they created slaves out of the white folks in Britain and Ireland. That didn't work out so well. Britain got pissed off. They created a massive armada and colonized the whole damn world. Let's not do that again. Try to solve the problem at the root problem. So I don't think the problem is a People's Party. I don't think the problem is the Democrats or Republicans. I think the problem is we keep giving away our power over to things that shouldn't. I think human beings need to be sovereign. I think every human child as an adult or a baby should have more power than any government, than any system. I'm on team human. I'm on team biological. I think that you get more rights over any corporation or any system or any creation because we're biological creatures. We're not corporations. All right. Is it hard to hear my voice, Jeannie? I know it was hard to hear that. I see y'all complain about the audio. I'll get it straight. I might buy a headset or something. Ooh, Jeannie, that's right. I forgot. I'm so glad you reminded me. You reminded me. I got to change the background. Wait a minute. It should be already there. Hold on. I thought I put it up there this morning. What's coming next? Dun, 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 dun. We're going to get our stage. Project Bluebeam, alien invasion. So now we have to start talking about the next scare tactic that the 0.01% is going to utilize, which is why they're showing you the flying UFO. If y'all have not seen a UFO, just type in UFO F-18 gun camera. All the UFOs prior to this were like swamp gas, high people, trees, wind, clouds, orbs, all the lie excuses that they make up for it. All right. The next one is going to be they're letting the public know that aliens are real. Why are they doing that? Well, for obvious reasons. To me, they don't really care to let you know aliens are real. They don't care to do that. They need you to be scared of something because they have something that they want. Power and money usually. Aliens have never invaded. They never will invade. They don't really care about us. If they need to build a highway, Earth will just disappear, and that's the end of it. So that's coming next because it seems like that's what they're preparing people for. But remember, it's not aliens, it's Space Force. It's Jimmy. It's going to be Jimmy in a uniform. It's not an alien with antennas and green skin. All right. Pushing electric wheelchairs on people too. They're pushing everything. Smart wheelchairs, that's scary. Smartphones are scary enough. We don't need smart wheelchairs either. We don't need to I'm scared of what you can do with a smartphone is bad enough. Smart car is bad enough. A smart wheelchair too? No, you can take them right to jail. They can't even get out. Just like us. Think about that. The smart cars. Ooh, didn't they do that in Hollywood? Magical Wandwood. Was it not Minority Report? The one where they couldn't curse and they were like, have a okie dokie goody day. They talk like me, where everybody had to be happy. And if you cursed, you got a penalty. Didn't they get in trouble and they tried to drive, was it Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone, try to drive him to prison? Yeah, giving the elite that amount of power means you can defund the police. Bad idea. All right, still the audio's cracking. All right, still tech issue. We're getting there. We're just making changes. All right, everything under the sun can be used to benefit us or destroy us. Yes, we have paid for the technology many times, many times over. It is the heritage that needs to be handed over to every human child, the technology of where we are in modern times, not what they want us to know, not what they haven't banned and classified through the Invention Security Act, but what these children need. They need freedom, they need peace, they need to be left the hell alone and given the ability to follow their passions without having to go out and make money to try to survive, to pay back debts that they never paid for, that they never ran up. That's why people should go back to small communities and help support each other. And slowly we gain back our power. That's exactly what we need to do, Christine. Adults need to go back to being adults. You need to go back to being a powerful person that takes care of yourself and your own. Everybody else and everything else is weak. We need to stop being weaklings. We need to be grown up. We need to stop being scared of the real world. All right. I'm about to wrap this up unless anybody wants to come on and discuss any of what we just went through, or the 6%, or the 6%. You remember my 6%, CDC, they didn't let you know it was a hoax. They'll say they overreacted. They didn't overreact. You know who's colluding and who anyone who's like, okay, we messed up, here's your land back. Then that's somebody that probably overreacted in government. Everyone else who's like, slow down. Oh, we don't want to open up just yet. We don't want to end the lockdowns immediately. Now, that's somebody that's colluding with the world currency reset, colluding with embezzlers, which, by the way, is a good question. Make America great again, Trump guys. Trump guy. I wonder, so how much did the pharmaceutical industry get this time? When it was Obama last time, I forgot if it was Zika, SARS, swine flu, bird flu, or whichever one of those scams, Ebola, the flesh-eating bacteria, and they gave Big Pharma. How much did he give them? Like $7 billion? I think Obama gave, and that $7 billion never came back, or $16 billion. I don't know how much it was. Does anybody think for a minute that they're actually going to give back this money? Does anybody think for a minute that you're going to make America great again and make Big Pharma pay back the $50 billion we just gave them for a vaccine for something that only killed 9,000 people, and you got cardiovascular disease that kills 840,000 every single year? I wonder if we're going to get our money back. I can tell you this. I think the answer is no. And the reason why I think the answer is no, because your presidents have no power. United States Incorporated will do anything that it takes to make money. And unfortunately, giving you your money back is not what it takes to make money. They embezzle that money. They do this every 2 years. Every 2 years they do it at election time. I yelled at him yesterday, showed him the price discrepancy, and I'm still yelling today. Who are you yelling at, Christ? What happened? You're not supposed to be yelling. You're supposed to be loving people and letting them touch the hem of your garment and stuff like that. All of my yelling is more of a passive, aggressive, patronizing, condescending tone. Tone that is loud. All right. I don't know what y'all yelling at. Damn right. Hell yeah, Tracy. It's time to go ahead and free the people. Free the people, free the next generation. Not everybody can and want to own land. And that's okay, Paul. They don't have to. You know, they have a right to it. And it's non-transferable, like Paul Bradley. And I know you want your land, but you know, if you don't want your land, that's okay. You still gonna take it. Then you just rent it out to an industrial complex. You rent it out to government. You rent it out to a corporation. You rent it out to a non-human entity and just let them go ahead and pay you rent, and you live in the city or wherever you want to live. Like what I'm talking about is empowering the people. They can live on if they want to, or they can rent it out to somebody else to grow food or whatever, but you can't transfer it. You can't buy it back because that's how they got us the first time. So now people don't have to want their land. But the point is they have a birthright to have their own ecosystem. And right now, nobody owns land. And besides, it's what the trillionaires and the billionaires want. All they ever wanted was the resources and the land. So that's the one thing that we have to defy them. All the public lands are government land owned. Exactly. The government, Tracy, and that billionaire in Texas. Guy in Texas owns, what is it, 24 counties? He owns a land the size of Rhode Island. Give it back. Give it back. That's the only thing that you want. You lied to us. You played this game. You colluded. You embezzled money to Big Pharma, and you created the whole cuckoo virus hoax and went along with it. Give us the land back. You can't take care of people. You're obviously not doing it. The food lines in Texas are 10 miles long. Give the people the land back, and give them the technology back. That's all they got to do. Oklahoma land rush. There you go. 1889 was the first land rush into the unsigned land. The areas that was opened up to settle included. Where's the rest of it? All of it. Oh, okay. All are part of the Canadian Cleveland, Kingfisher, Logan, Oklahoma, and Payne counties of the U.S. state of Oklahoma. Amen, Jimmy. Amen. They need to give it back. It's time for land rush, but it's not land rush where government's giving you land. It's land rush where you're getting your land back. Everybody, 16 acres. Go ahead and pick and choose. Everyone that owns skills to complement the others. Yeah, everybody's got a skill, Christine. Some people make music, other people grow food, other people like me create automation solutions, write software, so it does all the heavy work so you can keep doing the things that you love to do, so you're not stressed out, so you don't take Xanax, so you don't want to like shoot me in the grocery store. Or do what this lady did. Did y'all see what this lady did? I gotta show you something real quick. Did y'all see what this lady did? Oh my goodness gracious. This was ridiculous. This is why you shouldn't piss people. This is why you should not have corporate America, because people get tired. People get stressed out. And when things happen in life, things always happen in life. They always happen. If people are pissed off and they're kind of at the height of festivity, you're going to get some real bad actions out of them. All right? This is why we need to have happy people right here. This is why. One, we need to have happy people. And two, y'all need to stop pissing these women off. Right here. Here you go, right here. Look at this. Look, y'all see this right here? So I guess he ran in the house, and the woman's like, nope, I'm coming in that house. Did y'all see this? And she like, nope, no, this is a door. This door coming. She even took the door. She took the door off. I love it. Boy, what did they, like he said in the Bible, ain't no fury, ain't no dangerous thing, ain't nothing scary on the planet, ain't no devil, Satan, Beelzebub, criminals, ain't nothing scary, no crocodiles, Gustavo, ain't nothing scarier than a woman that you piss off that has to go to work in patriarchal world. This is a good reason right here. Look at this. Woman, she done took the door off. Did you hear what who's a comedian? Shula King said. I should play what he did. He said, yeah, you think you're safe in that house, huh? You gonna go in that house? You think that house gonna save you? It's got 4 walls, and that ain't gonna save you. No pissed off woman. No. She'd take out a couple panels of that siding and some bricks, and she got right the hell back up. Look at that. The door done fell, took it off the hinge, right back. Whatever he did, police ain't gonna help him. Look at that. Look at that. She grabbed the door, just yank, pull. This month gonna check that right there. She better probably bumped her head, screws of blood coming out the gates impaled in her back. She got right back up to that door. Now we got another door to get through. All right, I'm sorry. I'm paused at the right moment. I just don't think we should do this to people. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Right. Look, right when the door, boom, right there. I'm paused right there. We shouldn't do this no more, y'all. We shouldn't have this world. We should know. Cause look at this. This woman don't get to. You don't think she knew she was gonna fall down them steps? She knew. She knew. She didn't care. Cause men do too. I'm gonna be honest with you. I tried to get through a door once before too. It's something about them biological parts. I went crazy before. Everybody then went crazy for something. Everybody didn't had to put it on. You had somebody that really put it on you. You gonna rip a door down. But she didn't see a door. She saw red. And when she saw red, that was it. That was it. You need a society that works for women and men. That's what you need. You need a society where people don't take Xanax and think they're the Incredible Hulk. And the people that's going to stage the alien invasion, they're making the world harder. Like Bob Marley said, they're making the world harder so you will buy more of their Rockefeller medicine, allopathic, snake oil drugs that make you crazy as hell. I don't think that's it. Do you want to hand your world to people that rip doors off? He's probably cheating. That's probably what happened. Yet we are the government. And I feel bad for him too, though, because I'm not going to just put him out there. No, because, if he was happy, he wouldn't be out there cheating anyway. When he would have to, because, she went for the car. She didn't get through that door. She took that car out. That car ain't out there no more. That if it is out there, it got. If he was cheating with Tracy, he's gonna have Tracy's name on it in rust. She can keep that joker up. People should be happy. You don't need automated dogs. Maybe he need an automated woman robot or something. Maybe he need one of them things to blow up dogs. I'm not against those people. I'm not against them. I'm against robots in your yard being controlled by industries, looking in your windows and controlling you and taking you off to prison because y'all defunded the police. I am not against the automated sex toys and robots. If it makes people happy, I love it. If you like it, I love it. That's how that works with me. It's not my business anyway, what you do in your house, in your bedroom, who you do it, why you do it, where you do it, when you do it. I just need you to be happy and not on Xanax and Prozac, shooting schools up and ripping doors off of people's houses. That's all I want. That's all I want. People will create cliques anyway. They will. Paul Bradley was why you can't get rid of racism. People out there fighting the racism, fighting emotions. Gotta get that emotion. Conflict-based system is a group conflict-based system. Racism is a part of the model. You'll never get rid of it. When they're done fighting for racism, they'll be fighting for hairism, eye colorism, how long is your toenail-ism, genderism, something. The whole system is modeled to keep you in conflict with other people, to keep you stupid, to steal your resources and the land. All right, what else we got? Ain't nobody coming on. I'm about to get out. You doing good sound. Okay, the sound is good now, Jeannie. Thank you so much. The human party. That's all we need, Jeannie, the human party. Human party, look out for the humans. Don't look out for entities, banks, billionaires, corporations, GDPs, communism, capitalism, socialism. Those are all entities. Pharmaceutical industries, chemical industries, big chemical. None of that stuff should have any right on human planet. It's got to be human planet first. After looking into it, we need to act local, love our neighbors first. That's all we got to do, Tracy. Take care of your neighbors, take care of your community, get strong, create a human party, local, and just walk away. We're in a Chinese finger trap. Or it's the Japanese. I forgot which. We're in that finger trap. And the harder you pull, the more you get locked in. The goal is to stop pulling, walk away, and it falls right off. All right. The important part is to give people their voice, direct or via representative. I think the important power thing, Paul, is to give people their voice, no representative. I am, if anything, direct democracy. The only time I even want to hear the D word is with direct in front of it. That's the only time. Let people speak for themselves. It's like land. You cannot transfer it. I don't want to hear John talking for Paul, Christ talking for Jeannie, Pat talking for Christ. I don't want to hear none of that, because then you create power and cronyism, and then we end up back where we left. Everybody speak for themselves. If it's going to have any kind of democracy, it's got to be direct democracy, but there has to be a sovereign Bill of Rights. Every little child with snot, boogers in their mouth, poo-poo in their diaper, they got more power than the government. You give me that, I'm with you. But the people got to have the power. None of these created entities. We're not smart enough yet to create an entity to have power over Jeannie Owen Miller. We will be led to believe if they want to scare the face diaper people. We will be led to believe if they want to scare the face diaper people. Yeah, well, face diaper people, they can scare easy, Jeannie, and that's why I kind of do this sometimes, Jeannie. I don't want people to be scared. Like, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Y'all got to stop being scared. You got to stop being scared. The government's job is to skirt you. That's what they want to do. The job of the news is to skirt you so you will tune in so they can sell more news. The job of the newspapers is to skirt you so they can sell more advertisement. The job of the government to skirt you so you will go get and vote harder. They're just trying to scare you. Don't be scared. You're an adult. It's time to stop being scared, be an adult. Recognize danger, but don't make any decisions out of fear. Yep, you know, in Tijuana this morning and saw 3 dog friends, 2 black, 1 blonde, 2 big, 1 small, trotting together, shoulder to shoulder, down the sidewalk in perfect step like they were headed somewhere to take care of business. All right. Thank you, that Pat Hauser. I have no idea what that has anything to do with anything to do with anything to do. I'm sure it's probably got to do with Michelle Obama, but I don't know where you're going. Don't even start. Don't even start. Pat has a love relationship with Michelle Obama. Anyway, alien agenda has been blamed for a lot of bull shorts. Yeah, what you know what, Tracy? And it's the same thing, right? If they can blame aliens, then it's not their fault. What I believe is the virus did not do a lockdown. Stupid people in government did a lockdown. Scared people in government who should not have that power because either they're colluding with currency manipulators or pharmaceutical industries, or they're just too stupid to understand it. They do this every 2 years, or they're just lying. They take that money from big pharma, from the lobbyists, because they want to stay employed while they get you out of your job, kills millions of people. And we need to blame them. Don't blame organic viruses, because it ain't. Don't blame nature, because viruses are part of your extended immune system. Don't blame China, because it's, once again, not one person. How many people in Washington did it to me? I don't know how many people in your government. About 3,000 kings in Washington did this to me. They're the ones who did it. Why would anyone trade one king 3,000 miles away for 3,000 kings 1 mile away? That came from the Patriots. So we're not going to blame aliens either. When you look up and you see when that alien ship come out, you know who that is. That's Space Force. All right, Space Force. An army of super predators. That's what they are, Matthew, and it's time to take them out of power. Flipper 2020, I will take a dolphin in power in Washington over every single human being I've ever seen there. All of this. Yes, Tracy, all of it. But this is great times we live in. It's the apocalypse, the great revealing. We rented a car out a state last week, and the rental car market's collapsing too. Whenever a car pulled into our lane in front of us, the rented smart car would automatically, I don't like where this is going. I don't like what it do, Rebecca? Would automatically put on the brakes. Yeah, hashtag we all gonna die. We all going. I don't want cars to brake for me. I want automated cars in the future, but I don't want it at a time where the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Carnegies, the Mellons, the Democrats, the Republicans, the Faucis, the Bill Gates, the people in power don't give 2 damns about me. I don't want anything automated when they don't care nothing about me. I'm getting hungry. Where's my banana? I'm doing comments. I hopefully get 2 or 3 of y'all come on here and talk. If not, I'm gonna end this. I'm tired of talking to myself. Where's my banana? Did one of y'all touch my damn banana? Oh, banana thieves. Where's my banana at? You know I'm 98%. I got to have my banana every morning. Did I? I took it out. Oh Lord. Oh my goodness. Where's my banana? Like probably new people. What the hell are we watching? My banana, that's where my immune system comes from. I'm sad because most of my adult friends don't want to come out and play no more because they're scared of the cuckoo virus, and the government didn't say that they can come out and play yet. And now I can't even find my damn banana. I must have put it somewhere. All right, Gerard, you know you have me a show. I talk to myself all the time. Don't worry about that, Gerard. You right now, you live and people watching you. You're supposed to be reading comments. You're looking for your banana. I gotta take care of grandma. I gotta take care of I love grandma. I love grandmama. And grandmama said you got to eat your banana. Grandmama did not say that. She said eat your succotash and your greens. And I still don't know what succotash is. She was from Arkansas. I don't know. Yeah, she didn't like salt. Grandmama couldn't cook. She didn't like no. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll be honest. Grandma, I love her to death. Love you, grandma. flying around here like a creepy ghost or something. She around here somewhere because people never die. They just transferring energy. But you couldn't cook. I love you to death. I hated your cooking. I'm going to be honest with you. Your cooking kept me healthy and strong, but I hated. You need to use more salt, grandmama. You were the reason why I hated cabbage. I hated all kind of vegetables, fruits, and things that I was supposed to eat. Give me an immune system when I was a child, but you got to put salt on things. Now I'm going to stop because I believe in ghosts. I do. Grandmama, know I love you. I love you, and I forgive you for kissing me when I was 8 and you was dying with dementia and you thought I was grandpa. I forgive you. I forgive you. She thought I was grandpa. Which is another thing, another disease given to us by the government that loves us, and they want to take care of us, make sure we don't get the sniffles. Alzheimer's, dementia. All right. Where's my banana? Man, I'm about to. If somebody took my banana, it's about to be a fight. It's about to rip the door off this mother. All right. Yeah, it was gross, Lori. I used to run, I used to duck, but I got good at it. Like I said, grandma, when she was on the sofa, because we didn't believe in putting people in homes like a lot of people do now. And so grandma, I come home from school, I have my book bag. Hey, grandmama. And she, yo, baby, come on here, give me some sugar. I'm like, no, we don't lips, grandmama. No. You got too much juice on them lips. I don't do juice on lips, grandmama. So, you know, I knew the Matrix before the Matrix. I think I should sue because I knew how to move that way. So grandmama come in for a kiss. I'd shoot, get past the sofa. Nah, she come in this. No, grandma, it's got to be on the cheek. Got to be on the cheek. I got a lot of friends on the internet now, and I see y'all kissing your babies on the lips and stuff, and I'm fine with all of that. I am. But everybody got their zone. Everybody got their pineapples. If you ever watch, I forgot the name of the comedian who gave us pineapples. That lips is pineapples for me. You know, I kiss anybody. I'm fine with that. Loving guy. I am. My pastor used to kiss me on my cheek. It was a little weird at first. My pastor came, oh, dude, hey, we ain't do that in Southern Baptist, man. Then I realized he's just a big loving guy. You got a lot of huggy, touchy, feely guys, you know, that don't mean nothing. But the lips is, yeah, that's not gonna happen. That means something to me. Everybody got to say the one thing that means something to me, and that means something to me. Anyway, outside of me being silly, Morgan Stanley was worried about having too much Microsoft stock. Like they know something. Well, Jeannie, they always do. Insider trading is the way the world works. It boggles my mind why people think, oh, that's insider trading. That's insider trading. You can't do that. I'm like, they do it all the time. I hate to tell y'all that. All the time. That is the standard. It is the gold standard to sound like Bill Gates. It is the gold standard. Insider trading, when the dumb monkeys aren't looking, it is the gold standard. We lie to y'all. We make you pretend like we're subject to the laws that you are, but we're not. It's the gold standard. I can't stand when he says that. The gold standard is the longest running human trial study since the beginning of time. You put junipers around your house, it stops the pests from coming in. You put mint in your yard and it keeps the mice away. We already knew what worked. You eat healthy and organic, the flu comes, you don't have any problems. What happened to 40 acres? Well, Christ, people get freaky. That's what happened. It used to be 40 acres when our population was like 40 million or 20 million, whatever it was. Now we 320 million. What happened to 40 acres? A lack of prophylactics. And a time came where we created isocentric systems that allow people to look fitter and stuff. Gyms, because I look back at those pictures in like Roman times, and I look at the shape of people, and I'm just like, yeah, if I was back then, I probably had one or no kids. That's not sexy. I'm sorry, it's not. They created the gyms and stuff. Everybody got to running, got in shape. We was eating healthier, and they started having babies. So now we only get 16 acres. It used to be 40. Ain't 16 no more. But when I do the numbers though, I didn't calculate for black people and immigrants. I got to make sure that Paul Watts is in the discussion, because everybody, but even the billionaires, get their 16 acres. As long as everybody gets it, then we're good. We go for it. But y'all try to isolate one community. No, they don't deserve that. You know, then I'm not with you, because if they don't get it, then you ain't going to get it. It's not going to be a thing that happens overnight, right? You want to take care of you, ignore them. That's called revenge. That's not called reparations. It's called revenge. Not interested in revenge. That's what happened to 16 acres. She gonna kick tat. Yes, she was, and I'm sure she got through the wall. The way she went through that door, Jeannie. A woman scorned can be the most dangerous thing. That's right, Christ. That's why you stay away from women. You need to run, hide, duck, do something, but don't ever. They fall in love with you. You got to let them down slow. I learned that the hard way. Slow. They will kill you, and they won't even know that they did it. Some men are that way too. It's not just a woman thing. It's a thing that you put it on too good. Don't put it on too good. You got to hold something back. Don't put it on. You put it on too good, you might die. You might die, or you're gonna have to let it down slow, because that stuff doesn't disappear overnight. People will kill you. Wars have been started over that stuff. People throwing these things around and opening these things up like they ain't dangerous. The most dangerous thing that God never gave anybody is some genitals. Please use them responsibly and respectfully. All right. All right. That's some adrenaline right there. She was pissed. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. She was scary. Pat, I saw that. I was actually scared for him. I was scared. He ran in the house closed. Why would you close the storm door though? I don't understand that part. I wouldn't. He took the time to close the storm door. It's like, you know that the storm door don't even stop storms. It ain't gonna stop no pissed off woman. Not if you've been with Tanisha. No, she coming through that door. Because there's more evidence in there. You got that phone. She want that phone. She need to see everything else you've been lying about. All right. She should have given up the goodies, and he should have kept it in his pants. Unless, unless he's in a ransom. Well, that's how it goes, Christ. Love is a dangerous thing. Love will get you killed. Y'all be careful with that love stuff. Being sovereign, you cannot choose a representative. There you go. Ooh, Jeannie, that's it. That's the point. Being sovereign, you can't choose a representative. You got a job to do. And we need to work together to give you your passion, energy, and freedom, liberty, and land so you can do your job. I'm over here like, and actively shopping for sneakers online. Jesse, do that. Just don't do that on Amazon, please. Do that. Don't do it on Amazon. All right, I'm just clicking random comments, and I'm gonna get to the bottom. And if don't nobody want to discuss anything, then I'm gonna end it up. If people want to represent talking for themselves, you can't deny them that. Just think about that for a minute. If people want a representative talking for them, you can't deny them that. Paul, I think we have to deny them that. I think we have to, because it's too powerful. It's too powerful. Our biggest problem is when we came together out of fear or out of to rob somebody else after modern agriculture. When you give any entity more power over somebody else, it's a problem, right? If someone gives up their right to be representative or gives up that thing to be represented, that's two voices in one person. That's power. Power is how we got this world. Nobody can have any more power over anybody else. Everybody has to be an individual. You'll never have equality if someone is lazy enough to say that, yeah, I took all this time to come to Earth, and instead of doing my duty to the human race, I'm going to give it over to somebody else to speak for me. That world has to go away. That world has to go away. You cannot. If they want to remain silent, that's up to them. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with you giving up your right. If you want to be lazy and you don't want to do the work that we're all supposed to be doing, but you can't take your power and give it to someone else so that else will have more power over everybody else. Like, you see what I'm saying? Hopefully you agree. I don't know. But to me, I see that as a violation. We need equality. We'll never have equality when we allow people to give that up. Oh, look who's back in town. Y'all see Stacy back. Everybody say, hi, Stacy. Where you been? She ran away from the internet. She's been out there baking cakes on Instagram. We all have the power. Don't live in fear. That's what they want. That's right. They want you to be scared. They don't want you out there loving the racists. They want you out there fighting the racists, because that's how you create more racists. That's what they want. They want more conflict. This is a conflict-based system. It's a beautiful day. That's enough. It should always be enough, Jimmy. And, you know, but it's funny. It took me a while to get there before I realized that the day is beautiful alone. I don't need their crap. I don't need I don't need anything from the colonized world. I have a lot of alien friends. I'm pretty sure you do, Jeannie, and so do I. Half of them here right now. All right. I love doggies. Some people think they're saviors too. They are. They got the St. Bernard. You save people all the time. Shared, not scared. Thank you so much. Good Lord, Pat. I don't even know why I clicked on that. I saw what you posted. Yeah, I'm not gonna say nothing on. I'm gonna stop. I'm not even gonna address that, Pat, because I'm gonna get in trouble. No doggies, aliens. All right. I'm having fun, Jimmy. Have fun. You got to have. If you're not having fun on Earth, you're doing it wrong. If you're not having fun in life, you're doing it wrong. If you're not having fun and it's not to any choices of your own, you're probably being oppressed. All right. Everybody needs to have fun. More and more people are waking up to the matrix now. Soon, a great change will happen. I think so, Stacy. I think we're heading in. I know I'm heading in the right direction. I don't know everybody else is. Everything will change for me. Everything about to change for me because I believe in string theory. I believe in the double split experiment. I know that when I say it's going to happen, I make things happen around here, Captain. I am the boss, and I don't need no sauce. All right, what I believe I manifest comes true. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. So other people can go down that other timeline where other things happen. No, I'm going down that timeline where the human race is free. I believe in it. It's done. Scripture told you that. Now, physics is starting to tell you that. You are a manifestation engine. Anyway, how about when all the smart cars on the grid confuse the gas? On the grid confuse the gas for the brake. Then people died, Pat, but they won't ever do that. When you write salt, no, they won't ever do that. I mean, you can get corruption, but that won't ever happen much. What'll probably happen is they'll pull a Michael. What is his name? Michael. Goodness, I can't believe I forgot the brother's name. Michael Sterling. Was it the reporter who started looking into the CIA? He said they're following me, and magically his car in California went like 90 some miles an hour, and it hit a tree post. And the engine flew like 200 feet out the car. Yeah, that's why I'm saying technology is never the problem. The problem is when you have billionaires and psychopaths who run all technology and own all the corporations and all the governing corporations that you call governments. That's the problem. So yeah, I don't think cars will accidentally crash because somebody wanted to kill you. Michael Sterling, y'all know who I'm talking about. On the banana tree. All right, only touch. Oh, good Lord, have mercy. Good. And the only touch, yes. Will's banana, your banana. That's the only banana you're supposed to touch. Oh, Lord, have mercy. That's my banana. It's gonna make a great bite. Well, Jimmy, that's how we went from 40 acres to 16. Y'all keep it up. We're gonna be on 2. It's succotash okra. Is it? Corn, tomatoes mixed together, it is divided. Thank you, Christ. You found the truth. That's why I hated succotash. Thank you. She was poisoning grandma. I don't know why you did that. Thank you, Christ, for telling on grandma. That's why I never like it, because it give you the bubble guts. I had no idea that's what it was. Oh, they made me eat that as a child. They then broke apart that myth that you give stuff to children, eventually they get used to it. I ain't never got used to it. See, if she just gave me some corn and tomatoes, it'd be good to go. Christ, that even sounds delicious right now because I didn't eat breakfast. Somebody stole my banana, but you put no okra in it. Nope, that's gross. Thank you, Lord. That is gross. And I know that's not what you mean, but that's what I'm gonna take it for that's what you mean. It is gross to to ruin corn and tomatoes like that. Don't you ain't supposed to no damn okra nowhere. What is that, Pat? Am I supposed to click on that link? Did you really have to paint that picture in our heads? What picture? What picture did I paint? What's that YouTube link right here, Pat? What's that? Before I click on it, I might click on it. What is it? Well, you know what? I can't click on it. It won't let me. Yeah, it won't let me. How come Stacy? Oh, wait a minute, Stacy, where are you? Are you on YouTube or are you on Facebook? You look like you're on YouTube. We all have the power. Don't live in fear. That's what they want. That is what they want. Or are you on both? I'm trying to see because YouTube comments are supposed to be coming through here in this new interface that is really weird for me trying to figure out. Are you commenting on Facebook or YouTube? Succotash does not sound yummy. That's fake news. Your grandma says forgive. Oh, I forgive her, Jimmy. I do forgive her. My body didn't really matter. My body wasn't taking over then. It ain't taking it now. So that sounds bad. Suffering succotash. Yep, that's where that came from, Courtney. Suffering succotash, because everybody who put that in their mouth, suffering. All the poor children of the earth. Jesus loved the poor children of the earth. There's a song that goes like that. Yeah, the kids are suffering because people stuffing okra in their mouth. Poor children, poor child. All right, down to the bottom, down to the bottom. We getting close. I'm gonna do every other comment. Because I'm trying to get to the bottom. Tell us more, G. Nope, not telling you no more. I'm almost done. Did you have what? Did you have fatal? Oh, hell yeah, I did, Courtney. Hell yeah, I did. With no question about that. More than once. More than once. More than once. Never wasn't about no cheating, nothing like that. It's just some people crazy. Got a banana in your pocket. Yeah. Oh, okay, so Stacey, you are on YouTube. Cool. Okay, I just want to make sure the YouTube comments are coming in too. Nah, some people just don't, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm a decent person. Let's say that. I ain't perfect. Got my own mistakes and problems. I fight in the bed nighttime like everybody else. But when people get attached to you, you're rather a decent person. You don't cuss at them. You don't hit. Some people got low standards. Let's put it this way. There's some women out there that got low standards because they had trouble picking men. They got real trouble with, and some men got trouble picking men. Some women got trouble picking women. Make sure everybody's represented. Some people just bad at what they picking for what they need in their life because they pride the TV commercial telling what they should pick, and so they got low standards. And so I'm an average dude. I don't hit nobody, I don't cuss nobody out, nothing like. I try to do what's right all the time. Doesn't always work out. I get moody like everybody else, but for whatever reason, they got attached to me probably because they had some real low standards. I'm just the basics. I'm the basics. I'm not the whole super romantic roses and flies and Jason's lyrics, buy the bus to do all that. That's really not my thing. It's not my lane. I try to stay in my lane. But I think if you've been with just some of the most raggedy rags and dragged in the house, when you get a decent person, somebody just does the basics, you fall in love with them. So that was my problem. I was just a basic guy. And but the bar, right? If you dating in the bottom of the gutter, at the bottom of the swamp, the anaerobic water, just the neutral smell, like it wasn't like Lagerfeld or like Chanel. I was like nothing, just don't smell nothing, just neutral. But it was like, wow, that's amazing. It doesn't smell like poop around here, anaerobic swamp. And yeah, real bad things can happen when people fall for it. So anyway, succotash, okra, tomatoes for the win. No, Brett lose every time for the lose. That was all rim and backboard. There was no net in that shot, none, zero at all. Nope, because the okra give me the squirts. Nope, I know Lori don't want that picture. I'm just being honest with you because people like to play with me a lot. All right, 2 years ago, the state of Washington was selling off a bunch of state land, 1,000 acres. Now there are developers selling off the same land in tiny portions. Washington State is going to hell in a handbasket. Land's too expensive. Jeannie, $1 per acre is too expensive. Why? Because it's criminal activity. Jeannie, they didn't buy the land. They stole the land. They didn't buy the land. They killed people, murdered them, raped them, stole their children, and stole the land. No government should be selling nobody no damn land back. No banks, none of them. Is stolen property. They need to give the land back to the human beings that need ecosystems so they can stop joining Antifa, Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, Skinheads, Bloods, Crips, MS-13, and all the other groups to scare everybody. Give them the land back. Give them the land back. Ain't no, give it back. That's why I say, it's not a land grab. It's give land back. Ain't nobody grabbing nothing. Ain't nobody selling nothing. Washington State, they need to go to hell anyway. The Washington State government, because I believe those are the ones who spent millions of dollars. They sat down and had months worth of discussions of whether or not women could show their nipples, whether or not a woman was equal to a man. And I'm not saying that that's what y'all should be doing or shouldn't be doing. That's not my damn business. That's your damn nipples. If men can do that, women can do that. They sat there for a couple months. That pissed me off when I first heard about that. I did a video. I was like, the hell is wrong with y'all? It wasn't somebody, it was a whole bunch of them. And the Washington State government had to deliberate, have hearings and take notes and write things down and spend taxpayer dollar on this concept of whether or not a woman is equal to a man. Boggles my mind. They need to burn in hell anyway. So I'm not surprised they're trying to sell the land back. How is your root cellar coming along? Jesse, not at all, because I'm making videos right now. I need to hurry up too, because I have so many potatoes I got to pick and I haven't gotten to them. I tried to get out there last weekend, Jesse. I'm scared of where I can put them right now because it's got mold. So I'm hesitant to pick them, but I wanted to pick them and I couldn't because the mosquitoes, they had different ideas for me. They had different ideas for me. It's a long story. DARPA created something called HARP. They modified the weather because they're stealing clouds and water, rainwater. So it's been real hot and dry here for the past 4 weeks. Too hot for the mosquitoes to come out, so the mosquitoes didn't come out. So that hurricane came around because they're still playing with that HARP ship. And it rained like crazy, and all the mosquitoes like, party, it's party time. And they was hungry. So I went out there to try to pick some potatoes. That does not work with mosquitoes. Nope. I was fully clothed, brother. I was fully clothed. I had on pants too. Every time I put the shovel in the ground to try to get to a potato, mosquitoes like, ping, 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 ping. I felt like I was in Africa or Canada somewhere with all these just, no, it didn't work out. So I got 3 potatoes and that was it. I 1 potato plant. So the root cellar is on the back burner. I got to pick the potatoes first. It's biting the hell. And I can't, Jesse, I'm still working with this. Okay. I still got this. The mosquito landed on my face, bit me right there. My body's still trying to deal with this joker right here. I don't need any more of it. Yes, Pat, Michael Hastings. If you still think your government love you, y'all need to look up Michael Hastings. He was the dude that they didn't kill because he was trying to tell you the truth about something. That's why y'all should not be out there voting. Lots of laughter. He will never get to the bottom of the comments. Jeannie, I ain't stupid. I know what they're doing. I ain't stupid. I'm not that stupid. I know somebody sent messages to somebody. Oh, keep saying stuff. We're going to make him stay here for 4 hours till he passes out. Nope. I'm skipping every 2 or 3 comments. Jeannie, I seen them coming. I know what they're up to. This is what happens when you have friends that give pranks and do dumb stuff just to do it. They don't want me here for no damn 4 hours. They're just doing it to be silly. I know what they're doing. I know. I watch them, Jeannie. I'm not the fastest ship in the fleet, but I ain't the slowest one neither. I know what they're doing. They keep saying comments. Just because they want to sit me and make me stay here till I got to pee. That's why, just to do it. I know. I ain't worried about that. I'm skipping I'm going every 4 comments now. I'm going to beat them. Do Zoom. That's very nice. Christine, I'll try Zoom next. I will try that next. Oh, Lord, here go Brett. Don't even try. I know she's going to try. I see it coming. I know what you're going to do, sis. You're going to try to. They've been trying to put okra in my mouth from the beginning. All right. They've been trying. It's not working. It's not working. The last time, Brett, okra went in my mouth, I did it to try to get people to boost their immune systems because I knew the cuckoo virus might be coming. So I showed everybody in a video that you could eat the nastiest thing on earth, the nastiest thing, if you put the right ingredients in the smoothie. So I know you didn't see that video. I put, what did I put in there, y'all? I put avocado, I put almond milk, and an apple, a couple bananas, and that usually masks everything else. And then I put okra in. I did it on the video. And I drank it. I drank the whole thing. And luckily, I did not vomit the whole thing. My body wanted to. I regretted it the whole day. So I know she's going to try to talk me into it. It's not going to work. They say, you fry it. You got to do this. You got to do that. It'll get crispy. No, it's still a slug. It's still snot. You can put snot in a frying pan with some butter, garlic, and basil. It's still snot in the frying pan with butter, garlic, and basil. Doesn't matter if it's crispy. It's still snot. When you was a kid, you remember you do all of this right here and, and it dry up later and you scratch yourself. Yeah, that's that. I think Eddie Murphy's. It's still snot. It just dries. It's just hard, crispy snot. Okay. Succotash is traditionally a Native American dish, lima beans, corn, squash. Oh, okay. So they ruined it. They put so they probably were trying to get kids to eat the nastiest thing on the planet, okra. So originally it didn't have okra. Thank you. African Americans added okra. See, you know what? That does not surprise me, Brett. That does not surprise me. That don't surprise. It was the black elite too, wasn't it? It wasn't the poor blacks. It was the rich ones. They wanted all the delicious food in the garden. It was the Black Caucus. The Black Caucus decided to put okra in succotash, right? Because they wanted the best for them, and they wanted y'all to eat. So that's how we got chitlins. That's where we got chitlins from, because the slave master wanted the best cuts of the pig, and they give you the intestines. That's it. which is why it's in a weird day, Brett. Now they take chitlins and they serve them. They call them chitterlings. Have you ever had this? Have y'all heard of this? They call them chitterlings. And they serve them chilled in a wine glass with some ice. And I said, what the hell is that? And she said, that's chitlins, man. They call that chitterlings. Like they eating raw dookie and intestines. And they ain't even trying to cook it and sterilize. I'm like, you know what? This is the psychopathic age. We are in an era where don't nothing make no damn sense to me. You know that's doo-doo, right? You know doo-doo, those are doo-doo tubes. That's what that is. That's slave. They made slaves eat that because the master wanted the best cuts. You still gonna put that in your mouth? Chilled chitterlings? All right, go on. Go on. Try to tell you. I got cured of chitlins, Brett. First and last woman I married, she came from this colony of abused people called New York. And I went up there. She lived out in this place called Long Island. Her father made me some chitterlings. Oh, no. That was the second time. That was the first time he came to my house. I was in Maryland. I had lived in Maryland at the time. He came to my house and said, we need some chitterlings. You know, you're a lot of girls. So I'm going to go with that. I love your daughter, mister. I love your daughter. And you going to take the doo-doo tubes and you're going to clean the doo-doo out, huh? Yeah, okay. You know, this is a good example of what men do for women. It's the dumbest thing. That's doo-doo. He said, yeah, well, when you come, I might get in trouble because sometimes my kids, they put me on blast. I hope y'all doing your homework. Y'all supposed to be homeschooling, right? Kenny. That's how he talk. He called me Kenny. Well, when you clean the membrane and you cook them hot, you cook them good, they don't smell. Oh, but I tell you what, I was like, okay, mister, you say so. He took them things, put them in a big old pot with some greens, some other stuff in there. I don't know what it was. He cooked them up. And I was like, he's like, see, it doesn't smell. And I was just like, yeah, damn it, I love that woman. Yeah, don't smell. It don't smell at all. I can't smell nothing. Just roses. It was all doo-doo, Brett. It smelled like doo-doo on hot garbage cooking. But that's what women do to men. Y'all, they just jack them up. Just jack him. He be sick. So I want you to be my stepfather. So I'm going to tell you that these smell okay. And he finished cooking them. I put them in my mouth. But I got cured that day. For a woman, I ate doo-doo tubes. And I ain't never done it again. Brett. That was the last of it. All right. I got to get going. But never again. That's why I never got married again, because that man ate me eat doo-doo tubes. At least they were cooked, though. They weren't served in a wine glass with garnish. I would eat sauteed slugs, garlic. I would too, Melissa, in the apocalypse. People getting ready to vote. I'm figuring out how do you cook chipmunks and chipotle chipmunks, because we're going to be eating them. We're going to be eating mice and sauteed rat. And we're gonna eat all that. People keep voting. Y'all keep going. Y'all keep putting this 0.01% in power that don't give a damn about none of us. We're gonna be eating cockroaches, cuckoos. Cuckoos with some cockroaches. We're gonna be eating hummus with hamsters. I'm gonna eat the neighbor's pet. All right, let me get bad times, the apocalypse. That's what my grandfather told. Appreciate you, Grandpa. One love. Before he died, he knew months ahead of time when he was going to go, because I think people know when they're going to go. He sat right there, told my brothers and I about the Great Depression. He told us about the Great Depression. I said, I don't never want to do that, Grandpapa. I get it. I listened. So, yeah, I knew it was coming. Oh, you heard of chitterlings, huh? No chitterlings for me, but my mother and grandmother did. Okay. Oh, that's chitterlings, daughter. You're supposed to take a G and an S off. Brett, where are you from? You're not from the South, are you? You're not supposed to put the G and S on. It's in chitlins. It stopped right there. All right. I'm going to get going soon as my friends stop playing with me. Dark magic for sure. Oh, Hollywood is dark magic. So is Okra. Marianne makes good soup. Lots of laughter. Does she? I didn't know that. All right. I'm trying to click comments here, randomly get to the bottom. India just invaded China. Did they? Yeah, well, you know what? Doesn't surprise me. Christine, I hear stuff like that, and I'm just like, whoa! And then I stop and like, nope, we're in psychopathic world where everybody voting for, everybody pick your favorite psychopath. Pick your favorite psychopathic party, your favorite psychopathic nation, corporation thing, and yep, doesn't surprise me. They're gonna kill, rob, and rape, murder, and kill and destroy and steal a whole lot of stuff. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? It's a bug over here, big as that bugs I ain't never seen. That is massive. Oh my God. I don't know what that is. It's not a murder hornet. I don't know what it is. It's probably the next thing the government gonna scare you with. Oh, maybe it's a moth. It's big. It's huge. It's like 3 inches. It's like an Africa bug. Oh, not Africa or Australia. The two places you will never catch me. Africa or Australia. They got bugs big as babies. And this thing about 3 inches. Man, I don't know what the hell that is. All right, I'm about to get out of here. This thing about to kill me. Head cheese. All right, let me get to the bottom. Gotta get to the bottom. Gotta get to the bottom. Let me see if I can see this from anybody. Get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down. One love indeed. Yes, love, April. Love is always the answer. The question don't ever matter. Okra is good for diabetes. Okra is not good for diabetes. Okra, don't be here lying, telling people truthful things. Not when it comes to okra. When it comes to okra, Brett, we lie around here. Okra is not good for nothing other than constipation. Constipation or like castor oil. Get somebody vomit some stuff up. All right, I gotta go. G just found lunch. G did not just find no damn lunch. For lunch today, it's gonna be a smoothie. That's what's gonna be for lunch. Because I can't find my banana Beaufort because somebody stole it. Murder hornets. Yeah, the murder hornets, Gene, they didn't get nobody. The murder hornets literally, look it up online. They didn't kill nobody. Nobody. It's bad. They blamed all that. They got everybody all scared of murder hornets. I seen one. I picked it up, played with it, took a picture of it, and the Americans were scared of it. So we're going to, so the murder hornets, let me see. So if you put things on a scale, butterflies killed 0 people. Murder hornets killed 0 people. Cuckoo virus killed 9,210 people. Cancer kills, it was like 200,000 people. And cardiovascular disease kills 840,000, I believe, in 2019. So like priority. And the shutdown. No, the shutdown killed 2, and I messed up cancer. That was the shutdown. Shutdown killed, they say, over 200,000 plus people. We need to deal with the priorities. Everybody's life matters. Cuckoo virus just should have fell off everybody's radar. AI drone. Yep. That's going to be the police of the future, April. They keep wanting to defund the police. That's what they're going to get. Big random bug and okra smoothie. I get bugs in my smoothie all the time. Bugs are in every smoothie if it's healthy. If there ain't no bugs in it, it's unhealthy. I'm a vegetarian, and it's not because I think we shouldn't murder things. We murder things with every footstep in this world. So stop trying to shame people. I eat vegetarian because it's healthy. It works very well in my body. Been doing that for over 10 years. I haven't got no colds, flus, viruses, cuckoo viruses, and none of that stuff. I ain't never been scared to go outside and jump in some water and take in all them viruses. Constipation, thanks to you. Yep, April, that's what it's good for. If you ever constipated, you get to make a little okra paste, a poultice, not that I even know what that is, and like rub it on the tip of your teeth or something. And when you feel all that goo just sloshing around right there, it's gonna make you just want to just let everything out. All right, I gotta go. Yes, but there'll always be roaches to me. Flying roaches. Yep, flying roaches. All right, I gotta go. Holy schnizzles. You're still on. I built a rabbit fence and came back. Well, I was here, Susan, because people were trying to play with me. They didn't think I didn't know. They're being funny. Because my friends, because they're all a-holes. They're not mask holes, they're a-holes. Mask holes are different. These are a-holes. All of my friends. I love them to death for it. They're just pranking me. They're like, yeah, let's keep them talking. It's going to be funny. And they'll probably take breaks in between, go out, build rabbit fences, go do something they got to do. Let's see if we can keep him here for 5 hours because he's stupid. And they were probably taking breaks and coming back, taking shifts, trying to see how funny they could be. That's good. When people prank you, it's a good thing. It means people love you. You should be around more people that prank you. When people make jokes about you because they love you, when people don't say nothing to you, they don't like you at all. All right, I really got to go. This is Pat. Pat Riley, free the people. Last couple comments. Then you know what? It might not even been about anything than losing my voice. Can you hear my voice starting to go? Any new people? This is what my friends do to me. They can tell because my voice, I'm losing my voice. They're like, you know what? Let's keep him talking until he loses his voice. And to them, it's funny because they can get about their day. The rest of my day, I sound like Froggy from Little Rascals. Y'all remember Froggy? Yeah. Like, yeah, this voice starting to go. Y'all keep commenting. Somebody say something about aliens. Somebody say something about free energy. We can keep him here. He already said it before. We done heard it 1,000 times. But go ahead and say it anyway. I bet we can stay here. Big dummy. That's all right. That's my friends. Don't ever go sleep around them. Don't ever do mushrooms around them. Don't ever drink around them. Don't ever do no cannabis around you and fall asleep. They do weird things to you. All right, I got to go. Anybody got a last word to send us off on? Woo! All right. We come here to be insulted. Yes, Lori, everybody. So do I. So do I. I come here to be insulted. I come here to say the political parties no answer to any damn thing, so people cuss me out and send me dingling pics because they think it's funny. That's what we all come here. If people insult you, people recognize you. They see that today you're a thing. When you're indifferent to people, they don't care nothing. And the first insult wasn't from me. All right, that wasn't the first insult. The first insult, everybody know, Lord, the first insult around here always comes from Beaufont. Nobody else starts it. Ain't nobody. No, that's not true. People starting junk mostly is Beaufont. These are people that y'all need to be wareful of, leery of new people. Beaufont, Courtney, Christ, Elaine. I'm tattletelling. I'm tattletelling. These are the people you got. They're the ones they fire first. They don't really care what you got to say. They're going to fire first. They're going to let you know. All right, but you got to love them for it. Let everybody be everybody. Everybody be it. Later, dude, lightning and hitting, laughing now. All right. Robert Walker, showers got to go. That release the chains that bind you. As Brother Pat says, if you want to set the world free in perfect harmony, isn't it time for that? We have not freed the people. Can y'all hear him singing? We need to free the people. And Mother Nature too. From something to the top. Make modern slavery stop. And it means you got to get rid of dead money and get the land back. All right. This is Gerard with no voice because my friends think it's funny. Oh, goodness gracious. I had to go. I'm tired. I'm not sure how well this worked out. I have to figure out another way to bring people on. I am going to play with Zoom. I don't know. You can't hear them? Yeah, Lori. I can hear them. Y'all can't hear them. If you want to free the people is what he's saying. Do you want to free the people? From the bottom to the top. Make modern slavery stop. This is Gerard, gotta go. Y'all have a great day. Be good, be loved. Raise the vibration, as Bob Marley said. Raise the vibration. Love y'all. Bye-bye.